Hello there, welcome along to the MODUS Super Series for your fill of Friday night darts. And as always on a Friday, the finals night places will be filled. 3 left up for grabs, 3 players already through, but Group B will provide the final 3, and here is how the land lies after the opening night. Tommy Lishman did not have the start he desired, losing his first 3 matches before finally getting a win. Still all to play for, though, for the man from Hull. That's because Ryan Palmer also only managed 1 victory, the Lion looking to roar tonight. Kevin Painter is in the same boat. The always animated artist is tied with 2 players on 2 points, but is crucially still in the race. The top 2 are sitting pretty. Haruki Muramatsu won 3 of his first 4 matches and seems set for a Saturday appearance. And Welshman Mike Gillett is just 1 win away from qualification. The former weekly winner had a perfect start, winning all 4 of his games last night. Yeah, it was a perfect night for Mike Gillett. That brings us up to date with what happened last night, but it looks like Gillett and Muramatsu are pretty much through already.
Yeah, they do look pretty safe. There's a good 4 clear points between Muramatsu and the other players in the field. So something disastrous, I think, has to go wrong for those 2 not to make it through to finals night.
Yeah, Laura Turner. Proud sister-in-law. Won't keep doing that tonight, but yeah, Mike Gillett certainly was surprised to see you when he came in yesterday, wasn't he?
He was. We were I probably could have told him, couldn't I? Give him a bit of a heads up. But, it's been quite fun to wind him up, because he has no idea what I'm saying, although it is all nice.
Yeah, nothing to wind him up about now.
No, I know. No, he's done really, really well.
Yeah, really good performance. That's this group. We're just going to recap on this week before we get into previewing Group B. And this is what's happened. Andreas Harrison, the winner of Group A, Alex Small and Shane McGirt coming through Group C this afternoon. It was a close run thing for quite a long time, wasn't it?
Yeah, it really was. I think Alec really did push on towards the end, but it was still really kind of boiling down to those last few matches. There was a lot of permutations that I will say we were working out, but it was all really you working out. But yeah, they did really well to get through in the end.
Yeah, and a couple of players that have got experience, have been at finals night before, pacey players as well. They'll thrive in front of an audience here, won't they?
Yeah, I think so. I do. And, whoever's going to join them, I think you're still going to have that kind of pace and speed. So it's going to be a really interesting finals night again.
Right, let's see who will join them. It's all about Group B now. So we're going to have a look at the table. As we mentioned, from those highlights there, Gillett won all 4 of his matches. Muramatsu won 3 of 4. But the top 3 go through from this group. It's pick 'em, really, isn't it, between Painter, Palmer and Lishman?
Yeah. I mean, they all basically kind of beat one or the other yesterday. It was Mike winning all 4 and Haruki only actually lost to Mike. So it's just going to be, I think that first game is going to be really key. It's going to set the tone because Kevin takes on Tommy Lishman. So that's going to be really quite interesting.
Yeah, Gillett, of course, only needs 1 win. You would expect him to get that. But Muramatsu needs 2 mathematically. Could be a situation where he slides down if the other players kick on this evening.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd say nothing's actually done until it's actually done. We've probably seen stranger things in darts over the years, but yeah, I just think the way he played yesterday, if he can do that again, I think again going to be hard to beat and should get the 2 wins.
Right, let's have a look at the betting in this group. Now, this is the outright market, so as you can see, there's enormous odds for the players that all won 1 match yesterday. Might get it odds on favourite Muramatsu, just 2 to 1. But what it does tell us is the bookies are favouring Kevin Painter for that final spot.
Yeah, they are. And I think, when you look at how the draw's actually gone, I think Kevin does have the darts against Ryan Palmer and against Tommy Lishman tonight. So, that could play as an advantage. Obviously, we never quite know, but Kev's got that experience as well, hasn't he? Probably a bit more than the other 2. So they're just probably looking at that.
Yeah, that's why we play the matches, isn't it? Because we never quite know. But we'll try and give you some value with the bet builder. We've already had some successful ones this week already. Muramatsu versus Painter, they've gone on the handicap in favour of Haruki. Then Gillett versus Painter going the distance 4-2 or more in legs. And Painter versus Palmer, they've gone for Kevin in that one with a bit of a handicap minus 1.5. Thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think they're all fair bets, but the one that probably stands out to me, Painter versus Palmer. it's that very last game of the evening. There could be quite a lot loaded on that. So, you know, it looks good. 7.43 is great, but I'm just, you know, dubious about the last one maybe.
Yeah, if it does come down to that, it's going to be torture for the punters. It's going to be even worse for the players, isn't it? It's,
absolutely.
To go into that, it'd be like a knockout scenario.
Yeah. But, I mean, it's also quite fun for us watching because we do like that bit of jeopardy.
Well, absolutely. I'll let you get downstairs and watch, and I hope you enjoy the action this evening as well. The first match is pretty significant as well because it is two of those players tied on 2 points in that race to try and qualify for finals night. And talking you through the action tonight, it is Laura Turner and Henry Deacon.
Thank you very much, Chris, and a very good evening, everyone. Welcome along to the Super Series for your Friday night fling at the Live Lounge in Portsmouth. And we kick off in the same vein that we finished last night with Kevin Painter up against Tommy Lishman. Painter, who won his opening game of the night, but then subsequently went on to lose his final 3, which puts him in a precarious position as far as the group is concerned. He takes on Tommy Lishman. Look out for some real extravagant stuff from him. Well, it is the legendary referee Paul Hinks who calls game on for the 500th time this week. It's been a marathon week here at the Super Series. It is our 500th leg of the week.
85.
And one thing which has also been quite a customary over the last few days has been a change to Kevin Painter's equipment. And it looks as if, for the first time this week, the change actually involves
43.
the barrel. We've seen changes of stems, we've seen changes of flights, but it looks like the barrel with a bit more smoother edges, but
180.
to full effect from Kevin Painter's perspective, it's got a little bit of grip in the middle of it. Interestingly as well, there's also
43.
different manufacturers' stems and flights on there as well. It's a very good evening alongside me in the commentary box to Laura Turner. Laura, always good to be in your company.
Yeah, you too, Henry. You
140.
too. Just catching my breath slightly from running up from the balcony there. I think I heard you say Kev has changed his barrel again.
180. Coming to car 96.
And these two have started really, really well.
And Painter on for a 12-dart leg if he can convert double
Game
eight
shot of the
here,
first
which he
leg.
duly
Kevin
does.
Painter.
And a little bit like last night, Kevin Painter has got out the tracks flying, opening up a 1-0 lead on Tommy Lishman in the space of 12 darts.
Second leg, Tommy to through first. Game on. $61.
It's a big battle in that, what looks like the race for third place in this group. And it is interesting that the
85.
bookies are still going with Kevin Painter for that particular spot.
Yeah, I think Kevin's probably just got that
85.
extra bit of experience here. Has made it through to finals week. Just more to draw upon, and you know, opening leg that was very strong there from Kevin Painter.
50.
What we did see from Kevin yesterday was moments where you could see he just couldn't hold in that emotion, kind of got quite frustrated with
81.
himself. So if you can avoid that, I mean, we know it's Kevin, we know that's part of his game, but more of this opening leg and a bit less angst.
41.
Reminder that you can get in touch with us as well this evening at the MODUS Super Series. Available across our social media platforms.
82.
That's MSS Darts. Any questions for myself and Laura in the commentary box? We will endeavour to answer the fun ones at least.
95.
You know what's a, well, busy weekend across the dart spectrum, although we're in September now, there's no such thing as a quiet weekend.
128.
No, you get to this point of the year and it just, next thing you know, it's Christmas and you're into the next year.
16 days at Alexandra Palace almost cometh.
51. Tommy Car 64.
Lishman here, 64 to level this game up. It's got the luxury of time, but it's only going to be one at tops at this turn.
44.
And it drags just underneath. And Painter looking to apply pressure.
83. Tommy Car 20.
And so can leg 501 be dispatched on double 10 for Tommy Lishman?
Getting shot on the second leg. Tommy Lishman.
Yeah, it absolutely can. And that's an amazing amount of legs that's been played. And been called by Paul Hinks this week. That
Third
was
leg,
the
Kevin, you through first. Game on.
501st leg to be called this week.
Considering that 501 has now been complete, I suppose we can go home now,
36.
can't we?
I think there's be a few people that have something to say about that.
Max for Leishman to kickstart leg number 502. I suppose they would have been 9 if leg 501 contained a 9. Maybe we're on +1.
35.
It's been a couple of weeks since he's seen a 9, Tommy. And the weight's going to go on.
60.
Kev looking to fire back with a 180 of own.
140.
Manages just the 140.
$83.
Just get the feeling that Painter,
100.
he knows what this Super Series format's all about, and it feels like it's all business on this Friday night for him. He knows that this is the final frontier as far as
81.
qualification is concerned.
$44. Tommy O'Carr, 97.
Well, Tommy Leishman will need a break if he's going to win this match against Kevin Painter. And this is a good opportunity, you feel.
45. Kevin O'Carr,
So Painter here
146.
needs to find something quite mesmeric. And the 146 is still on. Had options. The first dart was not a bad lie.
138.
Case in point with the
Tommy
third.
O'Carr,
And
52.
has left himself on double 4 if Leishman cannot convert this for the break.
Game shot on the third leg. Tommy Leishman.
Nicely taken there for Tommy Leishman. And that is the break that we were talking about that he needed. And you will
Ball
see
play, Tommy to
throughout this
first,
evening,
game
Tommy
on.
Leishman will do pretty much anything possible not to leave double 16.
177.
I'm saying nothing.
97. $140.
I'll give you a due. You didn't say anything, and it still didn't happen.
That's the first time that's ever happened. Most likely the last.
No, but what I will say, especially in the context of this game,
81.
and from what we saw from Tommy yesterday, this is a different version. This is more of what we saw when he was at the MODUS Super Series last time.
100.
Who do you think the more pressure's on this evening? The likes of a Kevin Painter or the likes of a Tommy Leishman within themselves?
Well, within themselves, I just think they're actually two different people. If you just look at the body language of both, Kevin is always
96. Tommy O'Carr, 84.
pushing for the best, and he wants the best out of himself. And I'm not saying that Tommy doesn't, but just got a far more relaxed demeanour.
44.
But they're both going to fancy it. And the meeting between the two yesterday did go the way of Leishman.
85. Tommy O'Carr, 40.
Where if Leishman converts this, Kevin Painter is throwing to stop a 4-game losing streak.
Game shot on the fourth
And the
leg.
tops is
Tommy
found for a
Leishman.
13 dart leg. And Kevin Painter, who won the first game of the group, is now on the cusp of
Fifth
4
leg, Kevin
defeats
to
on the
throw
spin.
first. Game on.
And suddenly the artist's chances of progressing through to tomorrow night will begin to look slimmer and slimmer. But that maximum gives him a glimmer, a little bit of hope at the beginning of leg 5.
60. $127.
He opted to switch Trying to search out that 57.
49.
Paul Hinks had the 1-2-7 call there. Not his most famous.
60.
If he had £1 for every time that was mentioned.
140. Kevin O'Carr, 134.
Not disastrous yet for Kevin Painter. Has got a bit of time. We'll be back, but should be looking at 20s here.
54.
And so Lishman can only apply pressure, but he knows this isn't exactly his battle because this is the leg on the Painter darts.
Kevin O'Carr,
He has got the opportunity to serve it out in the next if Painter can convert this 80 now. Knowing the way that Kevin likes to go for things, he will go tops on this particular combination.
$40. Tommy O'Carr, 112.
Just like Kevin Painter. Tommy Lishman in the
72.
one. So Painter
Kevin
back
O'Carr,
here
40.
for tops to go within one leg.
Game shot on the 5th leg. Kevin Painter.
Yeah, and that was better there from Kevin Painter. But this is the leg Tommy Lishman needs.
6th
For a
leg, Tommy
40
to
win.
go
He
first.
does
Game
have
on.
the darts.
Painter doing the first job, forcing his opponent to serve it out. But if he cannot do it and he's not up to the
45.
task, Painter will then get the opportunity to do it himself in the final leg. And that 45 start has just opened up the door somewhat for the artist.
83.
A door which he is just kept at arm's length for now.
100. 43. 60.
This arguably the most tentative leg that we've seen from both of these players.
78.
Yeah, and a good switch there from Kevin Painter.
$100.
And so Kev here in desperate need of a big score. Lishman waiting on 196, knowing that unless Painter can find a couple of trebles, he's going to have 6 to win the match.
100.
And it is going to be 6 or 196 for Lishman to pick up his second victory. And this would be for back-to-back victories against Kevin Painter.
60.
Couldn't quite search out that treble 20. Painfully close, but Painter does. And we leave something a bit lower than Lishman.
76. Tommy O'Carr, 136.
Well, this would be some way to seal the deal. He's going to go for 2 treble 16s to leave tops. Now, we know he hates
41.
that segment of the
Kevin
board, and
O'Carr,
so he went against the
121.
convention of 2 treble 20 to leave double 8. Treble 17 would have left the ball, and so Lishman now with
97.
an opportunity
Tommy
to
O'Carr,
seal the points.
95.
95 is what he's looking for. Does he go for the bullseye or does he attack on the treble 19? Attacked with the treble 19. And so he needed to find the double.
39.
And
Kevin
that was
O'Carr,
not found.
24.
And so Painter comes back to send us all the way, wanting double 12.
Game shot on the 6th leg. Kevin Painter.
And there you have it from Kevin Painter. We are at a level game in this opener. Very reminiscent of the final game from last
7th and
night.
final leg. Kevin
4-3,
to
as I
throw
say,
first.
to
Game on.
Tommy Lishman. But this time, Kevin Painter has the darts. Will that be the difference?
Well, interestingly, as far as Kevin Painter's night is concerned, in the 2 games you'd say is his most important of the evening, he has the darts in. His game against Tommy Lishman here, which goes all the way to a decider. And if needed, the last game of the night against Ryan Palmer.
100.
Yeah, and an absolute perfect start there for Kevin Painter.
What he'd give for a ton about now.
47.
Yeah, this is when it gets quite tense. You want that one treble visit.
140.
And the two treble visit is a bonus. When I say one treble, I don't necessarily mean that one.
79.
Already, this could be the biggest leg of their night. Whoever loses is not out of it, but it
59.
could well set the tone for what's to come. And so Painter 6 starts now from 195 to complete the job. And he's already putting a huge dent in that.
135.
A seismic dent in that. And so should come back for 2 darts at tots to complete the job.
180. Coming
Lishman
across
right
60.
behind him on 22. What a 180 there from Tommy Lishman.
The ultimate scoreboard pressure, but is it academic? Tops leaves double 10. 2 5s.
50.
And the artist cannot
Tommy
complete the
McCart,
job. And so
22.
Lishman, following that maximum, it was far from dead cat. And now he wants to go dead pan in the centre of this double 11 to win the match.
Game shot in the match, Tommy Lishman.
Yeah, and there you can see it. Tommy Lishman back-to-back wins over Kevin Painter. Does once again win out 4-3. Mismatch darts there for Kevin Painter. And as you can see, 87 average there for Kev. And Tommy Lishman with an 86.62. Good checkout percentages from both. And coming up next, we have Ryan Palmer against Haruki Muramatsu.
Hello again, welcome back to the MODUS Super Series, where the second game of tonight's 10 is about to get underway, and it's a meeting between Ryan the Lion Palmer and Haruki Muramatsu, the Japanese star, who is looking to take a step towards qualifying for finals night. He won 3 matches on the opening night of this group, but Ryan Palmer, the man in your picture now, the Bristolian, who's looking to join Tommy Lishman in winning his opening match and joining him on 4 points, keeping up the pace for qualification. Over to the commentary team. It's Henry Deacon and Laura Turner.
Yeah, thanks very much, Chris. Yeah, and another one. We are,
First
I
leg,
think,
Ryan
in
to
that period of
through
time where we're
first.
going to see the table start taking
Game
shape.
on.
But that win from Tommy Lishman moves him up to 3rd, pushes Ryan down to 5th. So you're also in the period of where things can start getting away from you quite quickly. And for
55.
Haruki, I think he was so consistent and so steady yesterday. Ryan equally so, but just couldn't convert them into results, and that's where he's going to need to focus on today.
And we shouldn't also discredit the fact that
140.
Muramatsu could really get drawn into this race, because defeat here to Ryan Palmer would mean that both Lishman and Palmer would be on 4 points.
81.
Muramatsu would be landed on 6. And then Haruki's next game after that comes against Kevin Painter in the middle match of our evening session. A victory for Painter there would mean that Muramatsu would be on 6 points. You'd have 3
97.
players laid on 4. And Mike Gillick's just, well, enjoying himself.
Yeah, Mike Gillett, he'll
81.
our table topper starts his campaign in the next match against Tommy Lishman.
Interesting, before play got underway, Ryan Palmer was a 13-8 outsider. Haruki Muramatsu was
41.
8-15 on with the odds
164.
compilers. Heavy favourite was the Japanese player, and he's first to a finish against the darts in this leg, leaving 164 after 9.
124.
Yeah, that's great setup play there from Muramatsu.
96.
Ryan Palmer just
Haruki 40.
can only look on and hope. This is for an early breaker throw and for a 13 darter.
Game shot on the first leg. Haruki
Well, ended up being a
Muramatsu.
15 darter, but that won't matter to Haruki. He's 1 leg to the good.
Authority
Second leg,
stamped.
Haruki to throw first. Game on.
It's a slight gauntlet laid down there, isn't it?
You're effectively saying if he can do that on throw, well, Palmer's going to have to
100.
find a break, and if he's going to do that, he's going to have to do it in 12 or less. If you're hoping that he
95.
doesn't suffer the same fate as his brother Ricky in elimination. Now, they will be playing tomorrow in the ADC Undisputed Championship match here at the Live Lounge in Portsmouth, and if you want to come and join us for that, you can do, alongside all
177.
the action at the Super Series, by scanning that QR code. Sends you to dartshop.tv,
85.
where you can get tickets for every single week at the MODUS Super Series up until around about the end of November, I believe it is now. So if you are somewhere else in the country, or indeed from Europe, and want to make a pilgrimage over to Portsmouth, then you can plan your week in advance.
140.
Champions Week is always a very busy affair. That's on Saturday, November the 4th this time round.
140.
Remember the 4th of
Haruki
November, because the
84.
Super Series will have its Champions Week plot.
$52.
Haruki sensibly opting not to go for 14 ball. Didn't need to, so just laid up 32 with Palmer back on 181. And
100.
this is
Haruki
a really
Okada,
comprehensive
32.
start. Really impressive here from Muramatsu.
Well, in both legs, he's left a double after 12. Looking to convert it in 15 on both occasions.
16. Ranyuka 81. 41. Haruki Okar 16.
So Palmer just made a bit of a mess there of the 81.
Game
And
shot on the second
no
leg.
mess there
Haruki
for
Muramatsu.
Muramatsu. Moves 2 legs to nil up.
And it's just felt like Haruki's been able to do it in his own
Third leg
time,
round to
hasn't
throw
it?
first. Game on.
His scoring's been absolutely outstanding, but he's maybe taking his time a little bit more on the doubles. Did gift an opportunity there for
58.
Palmer, who couldn't take it. But when you're hit with that much scoring power, you know, again and again, it's quite a barrage.
Well, we can demonstrate that by the checkout ratios. Haruki Muramatsu's
59.
missed 5 darts at double in 2 legs, but still, because of the scoring power, hasn't allowed Palmer a dart at a double.
81. $100.
Palmer will be hoping to right that. He's back on throw.
100.
Remaining steady, but you do feel a 2 treble visit here could swing it all back in Haruki's way.
Wonder what would be a good result
60.
for Tommy Lishman. Would he prefer Muramatsu to sail away and him be through and just deal with Painter and Palmer behind him?
92.
Or would chaos be better for him in the fact that Haruki would be on 6 and everybody else would be drawn in? What would be a better outcome for Tommy?
The best outcome for Tommy is for him to win all his matches tonight, really. But I know what you mean. I don't know.
180. Round your car 170. $58. Haruki Okar 102.
So 102 for Muramatsu for the double breaker throw. 84 left. So treble 20 would have left himself a dart at double 12. The treble 5 leaves 69. And that treble 15
78.
leaves him handily
Round your
poised on
car
double 12
112.
if he comes back.
Needs a treble. Again, this could now be a leg where Ryan Palmer doesn't
88.
get a shot
Haruki
at
Okar
double.
24.
Both on double 12.
Game shot on the third leg. Haruki Muramatsu.
Yeah, Haruki really does look very, very focused up there.
Fourth leg Haruki
Just
to
looks
third
so in
first.
control of everything. His emotions
on.
and the way he's been dealing with situations has been one of his strong points, one of his fortes, and something that we've mentioned throughout the course of the week. And I feel like over the last couple of months, the rule book on what
44.
constitutes a Super Series winner has been sort of rewritten a little bit. I think we've looked for so long at the big star name players
48.
running away with weeks, and it perhaps has been a case a little bit in the past, but you look now at the likes of Jeroen Mioch and Patrick van den Boogaard and players like Anton Oslund. We're seeing players that just steadily go about their business, but
95.
are effective enough going on and win weeks. And I wonder whether Haruki is going to be entering that category.
140.
And that could be demonstrated by the Champions Week lineup field we've got so far. Matt Clark, third appearance. Darryl Pilgrim, third appearance. Conan Whitehead,
60.
former champion. Anton Oslund, who actually had to come through Group C. Robert Grundy, who in both of his matches had to come back from big
136.
deficits in the group and then found his best for the finals. This is not like a normal tournament where you need one enigmatic performance. You've got to do it consistently over a period of time, and I wonder whether Haruki's
92.
going to be doing that here.
Definitely demonstrated the ability, the consistency.
99.
This is a good leg from Ryan Palmer. Down to 78 after 12. How much pressure will he be under?
136. Round your car 78.
Oh, that's unlucky, and I think that was actually in the 54.
38. Haruki Car 74.
And there we go. The dart of disappointment. Are these going to be the darts of elation for Muamatsu? 74 for the match. He's going to get 2 in hand at double 16 to complete a comprehensive victory against Ryan Palmer by 4 legs to 0. And Haruki Muamatsu is on the board with a clinical display. 93.94 the average, 4 out of 9 when it came to the finishing. And he didn't afford Ryan Palmer a dart at double in that match. It moves Haruki Muamatsu onto 8 points, level with our league leader, who we're yet to see tonight, but we're going to see after the break. Mike Gillett's going to be in action against Tommy Lishman.
Every Saturday, we open our doors for our weekly finals night.
For a unique and intimate darts experience.
Meet the Dart Stars and even the team off the telly
Here at our purpose-built venue in Portsmouth.
every single Saturday evening.
Tickets can be booked via this QR code
Or at www.dartshop.tv for a very small booking fee.
Follow us at MSS Darts on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram and TikTok.
For all the latest ticketing news.
All you need to do, log on, book, turn up, and the action gets underway from 7:30 p.m.
So what are you waiting for?
Get your tickets to the darts.
We look forward to welcoming you to the MODUS Super Series very soon.
Yeah, we do hope to see you here on Saturday night. But one man who might be about to book his ticket to finals night is Mike Gillett. The first time that he's been in action this evening, and he's going to take on Tommy Lishman in a game that is important for him as well. If we show you the Group B table, Lishman got over the line against Kevin Painter in his first match, which means he has now taken control of that race between Painter, Palmer and himself. But Gillett, of course, knows he needs just one victory to qualify. The same now applies to Haruki Muramatsu, of course, who just beat Ryan Palmer 4-0. But it's a really big match. Either Mike Gillett qualifies by winning it, or Tommy Lishman really puts the pressure on Painter and Palmer. So without further ado, let's get it on in the company of Laura Turner and Henry Deacon.
Thank you very much, Chris. And so, Mike Gillett, the man who was word perfect on day one of this particular group, begins his night two endeavours knowing that just one win from 4 is going to be enough to see him into the Saturday night darty party in Pompey. But he takes on the man from Hull, who is already good off the mark tonight in the better of Kevin Painter in the last leg decider. And I wonder whether this is the ideal time to face Mike Gillett. Face him whilst he's cold and whilst you've had a game in the system and a victory in the system as well. And importantly, Lishman has the darts as well.
Yeah, and Lishman's still fighting
85.
for a spot himself. Himself really in contention with that earlier win over Kevin Painter. And I wonder how that it can affect players. You know, Mike's gone into this knowing he just needs the one match. Similar, isn't it, where we've seen it when with round robins before, just need 1 or 2 legs, and you know, you're not necessarily going for that victory, you're just going for the legs.
But I wonder whether Mike's one of those characters that perhaps just takes every game as it comes anyway and probably won't care about that.
140.
Yeah, we see he's pretty laid back and confident in his own ability, and why shouldn't he be? He's yet to be beaten up there this week.
140.
As the odds compilers are concerned, they did have Gillett off as the 8-13 favourite, whilst Lishman was the 6-5 outsider.
122. Tommy McCall, 155.
So 155 for Lishman to take this opening leg is not going to go. And so Gillett
58.
back on
Mike McCall, 139.
Opening leg break, and he was the king of the big finishing yesterday.
64. Tommy McCann, 97.
Result between these two yesterday did see obviously Mike winning. It was a 4-1 result to the Welshman.
77. Mike McCall, 75.
And that was nearly the first of the Lishman flashy finishes for the night as well. But what has Gillett got on this 75? It's going to be tops for the break.
Game shot
and a
on the
1-0
first
lead.
leg. Mike
15
Gillett.
dart breaker throw to kickstart Mike Gillett's night. He begins Friday in a similar fashion to which he ended on Thursday.
Second leg, Mike to throw first. Game on.
And you'll probably recall Tops really was very kind to him yesterday. And as you say, that trend is continuing as well.
Tommy obviously tired of losing
54.
legs.
$100.
A nickname like the Flame, what would be the ideal walk-on
44.
tune for him?
I know, I can't get past the bangles, you know, like Eternal Flame. Other than that, it's got to be something kind of to do with fire, isn't it?
93.
I don't think it'd be that Celeste track that they keep using on the football matches. Could use Kasabian, Fire. That was actually Leicester City's
57.
goal song for a number of years, Kasabian being a Leicester-based band.
138.
Yeah, good setup play there from Tommy Lishman. Mike obviously got that break in the opening
40. Tommy
leg, but
O'Carr,
Tommy in a
170.
good position here himself to break straight back.
And you sense he would have been the type that if he had the 2 trebles, he would have gone for the pull as well.
125.
Oh, absolutely. Did treat us to a 170 last time he was here.
139. Tommy O'Carr, 45.
So this full level game, and he'll do anything in his power to go against the grain of double 16.
5.
But tops is
Mike O'Carr,
similarly
167.
unfortuitous for him.
95. Tommy O'Carr, 40.
So tops for Tommy.
Game shot on
1-1.
the second leg. Tommy
16
Leishman.
dart break on the back of the 15 for Mike Gillett in the opener.
Third leg, Tommy did through first. Game on. $50.
Just casually go for the 25 for the first dart of a leg, as you do.
96.
Yeah, well, we've said it before. Tommy does have his unique ways of going.
41. 43. 180.
Yeah, first 180 of the match goes the way of Tommy Lishman.
A bellow of
44.
180 from our legendary referee Paul Hinks, one of our excellent team of referees here at the Super Series.
78.
There he is. Refereed his first World Championship final back in 2011. And that was when the first ever 9 dart to win a world
Tommy
final
O'Carr,
happened between
152.
Adrian Lewis and Gary Anderson.
94.
So Lishman back for 58 to take a
55.
2-1 lead and
Tommy O'Carr,
get it after
58.
what was quite a promising start to this match has just receded somewhat.
Tops once
Game
again.
shot on the third leg. Tommy
Ends it in
Leishman.
2 darts, so 2-1 now to Tommy Lishman. We are back on throw. Nothing major either way of damage so far, but slightly
Fourth
worried
leg,
that
Mike to throw
Mike's
first.
really dropped
Game
off
on.
the pace in this match.
100. 100.
2 left-handed players on
140.
stage in this one, which is quite a rare sight. In fact, if Owen Binks was on stage, I'd make it 3 left-handed people on stage.
99. 140.
140 for Gillett, puts himself down to 1-2-1 after 9. A much improved leg from what we saw in the last couple.
Yeah, and as you were kind of
62.
indicating, sometimes that first
Mike
match,
O'Carr,
the opening match, especially if
121.
someone's got 1 and a win under their belt, it's you know, it's not always quite that easy. Just need a couple of legs to settle in. A double 18 here.
85.
In for a 12 dart leg. He's going to come back for double 18, and Lishman is unable
84.
to apply any
Mike
pressure.
O'Carr,
So it looks like we're
36.
going to be heading to Desmond territory here. That's grazed the wire, but as far as markers go, it wasn't much better, but he came too far inside.
Game
Double
shot of
nine
the
is
fourth leg,
found.
Mike Gillett.
That's his second 15 darter of the game. Level we are at 2-2.
Fifth leg, Tommy to throw first. Game on. $96.
And a real kind of yo-yo type performance from both these players really throughout the match, but I think 2-2 is kind of a fair
61.
scoreline at this stage.
Been a little bit like a car in town traffic. It's been a little bit stop-start.
52.
Both trying to go through the gears and find themselves placed in neutral. But who's going to end up at the
125.
end destination? As far as Mike Gillett's concerned, he could cross the checkered flag with victory in this one. As for Tommy Lishman, well, he could find himself well parked in terms of
140.
his place through to the finale. As far as qualifying is concerned, anyway. Talking about qualifying, we do have Haruki Murematsu coming up
95.
next, and qualifying for the Japanese Grand Prix will pretty much begin as soon as we finish here. That's going to be my late night bit of entertainment once I'm done on
57.
this commentary shift. I think a nice cup of cocoa and a bit of Formula One.
Really? I think, you know, for me, it's bed and back on doing it tomorrow.
100. Tommy
I've
McCall,
got bags under my eyes,
156.
you know what?
56. Mike Ricard, 120.
So another break opportunity here for Gillett. We'll need a treble 20. Just
55.
tried to stack
Tommy
it, just tried
McCall,
to pop it over the top
100.
and pulled it into the treble 5. So Tommy Lishman for a holder throw here needs 100.
Just has to move a slight nudge across, but now he's got an open bed on double 10. This may be more favourable for him,
80.
but he
Mike
misses
Ricard,
on the outside
65.
wire and presents Gillett with the break chance. Big moments in this game coming up. Gone against the 25 route, Gillett, and so it's going to mean now the solitary dart at tops for a 3-2 lead and a break of
Game
throw,
shot
and
on the
that's
fifth
found.
leg. Mike Gillett.
Yeah, that was a big dart. And a
Sixth
big
leg,
decision
Mike to
there
throw
for,
first.
from Mike to,
Game on.
like you say, go against the grain and go the 15 route.
$86.
Victory here for Gillett will seal his progression. 10 points is enough for any player to win their way through tonight. And so Haruki Murematsu will be
100.
in that same situation next up against Kevin Painter, where you can send him through and would effectively mean that if Gillett can beat Palmer, that
96.
Lishman would be pretty much there. All he'd need to do is dot an I and cross a T later on in proceedings.
57.
Well, I do have it on good authority that my sister's never actually been to finals night, and I think she's lined up a babysitter. If Mike gets through tomorrow, I think
137.
she'll be sat at home wanting a night out here at the Super Series. So Mike's going to be in the doghouse if he doesn't find that one win. I'll tell you now.
Now go and scan that QR
180.
code and come and watch Mike. Go on, hit a 180 to leave double one. Go on, Mike!
150. Tommy McCall,
Boring.
164.
Boring but effective. That was a great setup shot. A chance here for Lishman. Needs a 164 and isn't going to go. So Mike will be back for 32 for the match.
94.
And
Mike
for his
McCall,
place
32.
in tomorrow night's final, it is in his grasp.
Game shot
And
of the
Mike
match.
Gillett is
Mike Gillett.
into tomorrow night's final. He has been the standalone player in Group B, and he is the first player through in Group B. Gillett betters Leishman by 4 legs to 2. Even time for a little word with Paul Hinks. Who says nice guys don't win things? Mike Gillett, former weekly winner here, is back into finals night, doing so with an 86.04 average and 4 out of 7 when it came to the finishing. For Tommy Leishman, still work to do, but he finds himself still in a fortuitous position. But is it going to feel a little bit more perilous when Kevin Painter takes on Haruki Muramatsu next?
Welcome back to the MODUS Super Series, where Haruki Muramatsu is trying to confirm qualification for finals night. He takes on Kevin Painter in this fourth match of the evening. Painter still very much in the fight himself as well, but Mike Gillett has just sealed his spot in Saturday's session. Muramatsu can do the same if he gets this victory that would take him to 10 points in the table, and Kevin Painter is trying to stop him and boost his own chances of qualifying.
Thank you, Chris. So Haruki is on the hill as far as qualification is concerned. Looking to join Mike Gillett, who made it through in the previous match. He takes on the artist Kevin Painter, who's got his own trials and tribulations with qualification to come. And these two have had it's fair to say some interesting battles this week.
Yeah, they have indeed, but all of them
First
going
leg
the
of
way
Ruki to
of
through first.
Muramatsu so far.
Game on.
Tommy Lishman losing that match there just ever so slightly opens the door for Kev Painter. If he can find that elusive win against Haruki, he'll also join Tommy on 4 points. But Kev Painter does have
60.
slightly better leg difference.
Well, as what the odds compilers say in this match. We have Haruki
127.
Muramatsu offers the 1-2 favourite and Kevin Painter the 6-4 outsider. As Kevin Painter begins the game with 127.
123. 140.
Strong start again from Kev Painter. You recall in his opening match against Lishman, did reel off a 12 dart leg. We know he can make a strong start, but needs to be able to follow it up.
99. 100. 47. Kevin Nukar,
Painter
134.
first to finish, and he's got 6 darts against the throw and 134. May only need 3. Treble 14 was his intended destination, and now
94.
single 20 will leave himself tops after 12 against the darts. First dart just below was a perfect marker for
140.
Haruki because he
Kevin
could just
Nukar, 40.
bump it over the top because of the way his darts lie in the bed.
Yeah, but could it all be
Game
academic?
shot of
Yes,
the first
it
leg.
is.
Kevin Painter.
Kev Painter just double checking it was in there. It is, Kev. And that is the first leg.
Second leg, Kevin to throw first. Game on.
As a wise man once said, it's in!
140. 45.
Although apparently the wise man quote hasn't gone down too well.
I will abstain from any comment, but you can kind of see their angle.
45.
Yeah, there's that low dart that you were talking about earlier.
100.
Again, just able to just almost aim for the flight and just pop it over the top. Very effective for Muramatsu.
100. 60.
Painter ticking along in this second leg, looking to double his lead to 2-0.
85.
And it would just put Haruki's hopes on hold of progressing his way through. Victory in this one would seal his place, although he would still be in a very comfortable position. He would be 4 points ahead no matter what happens with 4 points left to play
60.
for. So it would have
Kevin
to be an
Nukar,
utter collapse to
131.
stop him from going through.
The treble 17's the target.
57.
Too much damage done. Kev back for 74 with Muramatsu on 236.
Painter looking for 74 for 2-0 lead.
140.
And there's going to be
Kevin
pressure
Nukar,
applied
74.
here from Haruki. And so this is all about the 14s as he goes for 18. It's tops. Doesn't matter how you get to the
54.
end destination,
The
but
rookie
Painter
card,
hasn't quite got
96.
there yet.
Look of disdain at his hand there, Kev Painter. But needs double 8 here, Haruki.
Game shot on the second leg.
Yeah,
Haruki
pins, double 8
Muramatsu.
as well. Bit of an opportunity missed there from Kev Painter.
You know what they were saying about me and Wise Man?
Third
I think
leg,
they were
Haruki to serve
correct.
first. Game on.
What I didn't want to say, you know.
What I know about darts can be written down on an empty piece of paper.
100.
1-1 in this one. There's the Painter shirt, which has got
100.
inscription of his face on there. Artist by name, artist by nature.
There as Haruki homes in on his first 180 of this match. Didn't actually find a 180 yesterday, Haruki, despite winning
43.
3 out of 4 games. Has had one now in each leg, maybe pointing to the fact that he's probably upped it slightly tonight.
$125.
Using that bumper while leaving 96 after 9 to put himself 2 onto the good, and Painter well behind in this leg,
44.
and the shake of the head was
Haruki
almost
96.
not a waving of the white flag, because that's not something Kevin will ever do, but it was almost in his mind a bit of a concession as Muramatsu finds a double 18 for an 11 dart leg, the best leg of the night so far, and Muramatsu leads 2-1. Painter with an uphill task now, staring a 5th consecutive defeat in the face. At the minute,
100.
not quite enjoying the same levels of success that his football team had on Tuesday night. Ipswich beating Southampton 1-0. Going great guns in the
95.
Championship, Ipswich this season. To be fair, fair few of our football teams are having good seasons. Portsmouth top of League One. You're having a steady start to life back in the
60.
Championship.
All right, all right.
Although on the other end of the Richter scale, Sheffield Wednesday are second bottom of the Championship. And Colchester United are looking to enjoy a season in the National League next year.
And Haruki really has taken a hold of this match here.
85.
Leg 4, and he's upped his average to just under 105.
And of course, don't forget, if you are tuning in on the Super Series YouTube channel, you can tune in wherever,
97.
on any device, whether it's a tablet, TV, laptop. You can take the competition with you at all times, whether you're out and about on the road and things like that. 1-2-9 for Muramatsu for a 3-1 lead at the break of third. It really would put Painter under all sorts of pressure.
89. Kevin Newcar 116.
Well, this is for a level match. Needs to find treble 20 and does. Double 18.
Game shot on the
Yeah, and that's
fourth
some
leg.
clinical
Kevin
finishing there
Painter.
from Kevin Painter.
Just when he was being put under the umpteenth most of pressure,
Fifth leg,
he
Haruki
manages to
serve
conjure
first.
up a
Game on.
done-topping finish. Back we go to 2-2. Muramatsu with the darts in the 5th. Painter still needs to find a break somewhere in and amongst this equation and persuasion. And it's going to be ridiculously tough when you consider Haruki's last
95.
leg on throw was an 11 darter.
$135.
Although I have had a text message from a unnamed member of the team to say, thank goodness I didn't mention their team. Otherwise, I think I would have been in a little bit
59.
of trouble. Don't forget, you can get in touch with us at the Super Series or at
99.
MSS Darts on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. And you can also follow us on TikTok, where we're going to be doing some TikToking. On 23, I have no idea what it
100.
is.
Don't mind a bit of TikTok.
$140.
Kev Painter has put himself in a really good position here. As you said earlier, does need to break and has left 127.
And game?
Kevin will be hoping.
55. Kevin Newcar, 127.
It's your moment, Paul. It's your darts, Kev. It's on. Double 8.
111.
He even sounded disappointed.
100. Kevin Newcar, 16.
So for a break.
Getting shot on the fifth
There
leg.
it is for Kevin Painter. So Kev now has the darts. Will he get
Six
that
leg,
elusive
Kevin, you
win
throw
over
first. Game on.
Muramatsu?
And it would make things very interesting indeed. As far as the table would be concerned, if Painter
100.
can win this one, Gillett, we know is through. We don't need to worry about his positioning now. Be Muramatsu 8, Painter 4, Lishman 4, Palmer on 2. But Palmer takes on Gillett next. And so it'd be an opportunity to put all three of those
122.
contenders on 4 at the halfway point. And then we look at the fixtures for the rest of the night. What we would see after that.
60.
The big clashes are in Game 8 and Game 10 when Palmer takes on Lishman and Painter takes on Palmer. Ryan Palmer
59.
can say if he beats Mike Gillett, he still has the destiny in his own hands.
$100. $100.
Yeah, good last start there for Muramatsu. Kev Painter here. Good opportunity to leave himself on something handy, and that does not help.
41.
And it just feels every time Kev just gets the initiative in the match in terms of legs. Muramatsu just
100.
takes the advantage back again. Painter looks to fill up that treble 20 bet.
140. Haruki Car, 120.
And Haruki back here for 120. So can he use that just off over the top? He can't. So Kev Painter will be back for 60 for the match.
100. Kevin Newcar, 60.
So this for the match for Kevin Painter to put him onto 4 points. It's tops for Painter. For a 4-2 win. To keep him in the mix. Can he just nudge it
James
below?
Sumner
Yes
match,
is the
Kevin
answer.
Painter.
And Painter is very much in the mix. A 4-2 victory against Haruki Muramatsu. Finally getting the better of his nemesis this week. Painter right in the picture now. 4 points to his name. He moves up to third place. A 4-2 victory and a high quality affair. 92.14 the winning average in the end for Painter. 4 out of 8 on the finishes, and that 116 checkout may be changing the game once and for all. So, coming up after the break, our middle match of the night is Mike Gillett takes on Ryan Palmer.
So game 5 here on Friday night at the MODUS Super Series, and we've seen wins for Kevin Painter and Tommy Lishman. So now it is time for Ryan Palmer to respond in that battle for what seems like the final place in this group. Mike Gillett is already through. His opponent here, the Welshman, he is safe. Haruki Muramatsu is 1 win away. Palmer really needs a victory here. Guiding you through this one, it is Henry Deacon and Laura Turner.
Yeah, thanks very much, Chris.
First leg, Mike, to throw
I
first.
don't know what you think, Henry, but Ryan Palmer is
Game
kind
on.
of finding himself now in a bit of danger of being cut off by the chasing pack. A loss here would see him adrift with just the 2 points and just the 1 win under his belt. Mike has said already through the finals night, so
53.
for him it is job done. And will that affect? We have seen it before. It can sometimes affect the way someone can play. It can make you relax and up for your
41.
average, or can go in the other direction. But I think Ryan Palmer will feel slightly hard done by. I mean, even in that opening match, 83 average, down to a double in most of the legs, but never actually have one shot at a double. Gonna need to change things around here.
And I suppose this is new territory as far as Mike Gillett's concerned. Yes, we've seen him go through to Saturday nights a lot of times here at the Super Series or the Live League, as it was in Southampton, but he usually makes hard work of it because he, by his own admission, is quite a slow starter usually.
121.
And so having this relative comfort might be something brand new to him, and it's going to be something he's going to have to adjust to, because what you don't want to do is go through and then play at a below par level and then par pressure on you tomorrow night.
I will say, though, of all the problems to have, qualifying after just the 5 wins isn't the worst one to have.
41.
It's like saying, do I drive the Ferrari or the Bentley today?
Yeah, again, another feeling I probably will, never get to know.
Join the club.
100.
I'm not going to go back and do any more car stuff. We carry on, I'll be talking about Hudson Hornets and all that type of stuff.
26. Mike, your car, 120.
Time to climb the ladder, Mike. Well, he's now going to have to go down to go up, and the way the first dart's gone in and the way his dart's into the board, that is awkward. You could tell by the way he moved across and with a grimace in his eye. You don't see that often from Mike.
60.
Yeah, I think he was just contemplating which way to go there.
134. Mike, your car, 60.
Tops for Gillett.
Game
finish, sweet like chocolate
Mike
for Mike Gillett. 1-0 he leads. Suppose it'll be
second leg round to
midnight
first.
snack
Game
territory
on.
now, won't we? Wherever you're tuning in from at home. Could have a lion bar.
30.
And that's a couple of times I've seen that from Ryan Palmer tonight. Just looking at his hand, don't know if he's maybe got a cut on his finger or something going on there.
59.
And obviously for Ryan, no matter what happens, he's going to be playing tomorrow night, because if he's not involved in this particular competition, then he's going to be playing in the ADC Undisputed Belt match.
100.
So he'll be hoping that he's still at the tip-top of his shape, no matter what the outcome of tonight is going to be.
And that will be an interesting battle when you're facing your brother. This is bragging
85.
rights. This is not just a title. This is, who's going to be top of those, the Palmers.
Trying to think about
137.
sibling rivalries in darts, and the only other one that comes to mind are the Highbrecht brothers, Kim and Ronnie. I suppose you've got Tony and Steve, the Wests.
96.
Yeah. Possibly the Rodriguez brothers, and you've also got the
41.
Vandenbergs. There's a few, Dimitri obviously the most successful, but I know his brothers play as well.
Yeah, I believe Barry Van Peer's brother Carlo's quite a handy player
43.
himself. Mind you, they're Dutch, they're always handy.
100.
Seen a spate of Dutch winners. In fact, there was as many Dutch players as there was English players at the last Champions
58.
Week.
Run car 93.
As for Palmer, the man from the southwest, looking to level
53.
proceedings up, and he's got to
Michael
hope that
Carr,
Gillett hasn't got another
160.
one of these big haymaker finishes in the locker.
He doesn't. So this would be the first time we would have seen Ryan
26.
Palmer go for
Run car
a
40.
double tonight.
Game shot on the
Yeah, and he
second
does
leg.
make the
Ryan
most of it.
Palmer.
Yeah, good setup with the first start and good execution with the
Third leg,
second.
Mike to through first. Game on.
There we are, 1-1 in our halfway match of the night. There's the shirt of Mike Gillett. Proud Welshman.
125.
Moved to Hampshire. He was actually telling me once upon a time about moving down to the south coast
60.
from Wales, and it was around about the time that Cardiff City made the FA Cup final. Of course, Welsh club playing in the FA Cup final.
45.
Only issue for Mike was he moved to the town where the opponents were playing, and that was Portsmouth back in 2008.
96.
Portsmouth going on to win the FA Cup that year, beating Cardiff City in the final. In fact, Cardiff, the only Welsh club to have ever won the FA Cup back in 1927, beat
100.
Arsenal in the final. Famous because it was the first ever FA Cup final ever broadcast on BBC Radio.
140.
So much so they actually had different. They had to tell people different quadrants as to where the ball was, and people on the Radio Times had to read that out. But anyway, that's
83.
my useless fact of the night done and dusted with.
Yeah, I'll stick to some dart facts. I don't know that much about football. I support Southampton, as we've
85.
established, so I
Michael
definitely
Carr,
don't know much at the moment.
148.
148 for Gillett. Another one of them leaves double 14.
$108.
Yeah, well, he is favouring
Run your car
tops
120.
these last couple of days. So good setup play there from Mike. And we'll be back. We've also been contacted, haven't we, Emery, by our friend Scott Mitchell. He's out on the Euro Tour at the moment just to
50.
say hi. He's finishing off the
Mike
day
McCarr,
listening
40.
to a bit of a MODUS Super Series. And many congratulations on your win today, Scott.
I take it there wasn't many places to celebrate in Budapest. As Gillett looks to celebrate a leg win, that's not going to come.
20. Run
So
your car
Palmer,
70.
break chance on 70. It's double 16. And the step back is telling us all how important he feels this dart is.
38. Mike your car 20.
Yeah, and a raise of the hands to the forehead. And he does need to find a break, and that was a big opportunity as Mike comes back for double 10. To come inside.
10. Run
Not
your
that
car
much
32.
inside.
The face says it all. Has to move across. Double 8. Not
16.
found.
Mike your car 10.
You're looking at the wrong end of the stage, Ryan. We don't know what you're feeling. Well, he's now at the back of the stage.
Game shot
He
on the
can't
third
believe
leg.
it
Mike Gillett.
because Gillett's 2-1 up, and he just looks at the room and sees it just consume him.
Fourth leg grinder through first.
Every
Game
player's
on.
been in that position where you get stuck on doubles, but shaking of the head from Mike. But Ryan Palmer couldn't even watch.
125.
And the issue is for Palmer, if he loses this one with Painter on 4, Lishman on 4, Palmer would be the basement person.
41.
He'd be what Chris Murphy would describe as the
58.
cellar dweller.
125.
Although it's good to see that Scott Mitchell's doing everything in his
100.
power to avoid a commentary stint here at the Super Series by selfishly qualifying for Euro Tours and things like that. Just playing Dave Chisnell as you do.
Yeah, I mean, what's he doing?
60.
Forwarding his darting career. Should be here with us.
Although I did have a little sneak peek of the arena
41.
in Budapest, and it does look a little bit delightful. Few of our team here at the Super Series working on that particular tournament of the weekend. I believe the asset is out in
105.
Budapest.
So this leg might first to a finish.
93. Mike Ricard,
But it is the
170.
big fish. I haven't seen one yet. And won't see one now. So Palmer with a chance to level it up at 240. He's
96.
84.
Ranyokar, 84.
Big moments here for Ryan Palmer incoming. Double 11
62.
doesn't go, and his throw
Mike
could be
Ricard,
broken,
74.
and his gain could be curtailed, and it could well be curtains to his chances if so.
Tops.
Game shot on the
Tops
fourth
really
leg.
has
Mike
been
Gillett.
kind for Mike Gillett.
Now has the darts to complete the job. It hasn't
Fifth
been a
leg, Mike to
vintage
throw
performance
first. Game on.
for Mike Gillett thus far, but victory here would mean 6 of the best for the Welshman. Now, I suppose as it is Rugby World Cup weekend, it's no surprise to
83.
see a Welshman with all the conversions. I do try with the rugby jokes.
Gonna
90.
shoehorn the word try in somewhere there.
121. $100.
Yeah, taking place out in France at the minute, but the action at the Super Series every week is in Portsmouth, and you can join us for the action by
85.
scanning that QR code. Dartshop.tv, the place to be to get your tickets every single Saturday night. And on top of that, that's where you
96.
can get your tickets for the World Seniors Darts Championship, which is returning to the Circus Tavern from the middle of February to see whether Robert Thornton can make it a hat-trick of titles in that particular competition, or whether the all-conquering Leonard Gates can complete the televised set of
86.
titles. I'm sure we'll see Leonard around here at the Super Series some point soon. I promise not to dance on the balcony with him again.
You don't though, do you?
65.
No.
Mike Ricard, 126.
So match-winning chance here. Needs 126. Needs the ball.
101.
Oh, misses by a
Ranyokar,
whisker.
150.
Now one of them will leave double 18. Doesn't go for Palmer. And so get it back for 25 to make it 6 wins from 6.
101. Mike Ricard, 25.
Double 8 for Gillett, and now double 4.
17. Ranyokar, 49.
Yeah, and more double trouble as Ryan comes back for 49. 17 leaves him 32.
17. Mike Ricard, 8.
And it's just been the story so far of this match. Doubles, missed opportunities.
And so the opportunity presents itself for Gillett. Double 2, the double he's looking at now.
4.
But it's not the double he
Ranyokar,
finds to win the
32.
match on this occasion. And so Palmer, who is 1 for 9 on the outer ring in this game, has got one last chance, one last reprieve to get the break back, to bring it back to 3-2,
Game shot on
and
the
to
fifth
keep
leg.
his
Ryan
hopes
Palmer.
alive as he looks up to the heavens. And he looks like a man under severe
Six-leg round,
duress,
get through
Ryan
first. Game
Palmer.
on.
Mike Gillett just looks like he's having a serene little walk around the venue.
41.
Interesting there. Mike just taking his time, just trying to recompose himself. I did say after that point where you know you're through, does that have an effect?
137.
To say this is hasn't been the highest caliber game for either of these players.
58. $98.
Another trouble here would make
95.
things interesting, and so now Gillett, heavy favourite against the throw. Interesting, it just looks as if Ryan Palmer now has just abandoned the 20s for all it's worth.
96.
Yeah, once again, good setup play, but
140. Mike Ricard, 170.
Ryan Palmer right behind him.
$96. Ranyukar, 167.
Hail Mary time, Ryan. Doesn't go, and so Gillett back for 74 to continue his winning streak, to put himself onto 12
Mike
points
Ricard,
and to leave
74.
Palmer in peril as far as Group B is concerned. It's going to be a dart at tops to seal the deal
Game
and
shot
to
on
get
the
over the
match,
line by
Mike
4
Gillett.
legs to 0, and that's now 6 in a row as far as Mike Gillett is concerned. He gets the better of the Lion, Ryan Palmer, by 4 legs to 2, who is just like his brother early on this afternoon, staring the exit door in the face. It wasn't a game littered with high quality, missed doubles kind of plaguing the averages that you see on screen, but it is Gillett who runs out a 4-2 victor in the end, doing so with an average of 75.5 and 4 from 16 when it comes to the doubling. We're at the halfway point of our night after the break. It is Leishman against Muramatsu.
Welcome back to the MODUS Super Series where, well, there's still plenty to play for, isn't there, Laura? Mike Gillett already through, but the rest of the players still fighting it out.
Yep, still got those 2 spots left. I think obviously Haruki in a slightly better place, but that loss earlier against Kev Painter, it's kind of opened things up a little bit again.
Yeah, let's just recap those first 5 results of the evening for you. All the first 4 matches actually going against a throw. What stands out for you there as really significant in that first batch of fixtures?
Yeah, I think Tommy Lishman getting over the line against Kevin Painter was really tight, and that kind of set things up for Tommy until Tommy then lost to Mike, and then Kevin came in and beat Haruki. So everything we were trying to predict, it all just turns around anyway. And as I say, everyone's still in the mix.
Yeah, that first match, it did seem to sort of set the tone for the evening, didn't it? And I was kind of thinking that Kevin Painter, if he lost that match, which he did, it might sort of start to see him, so the wheels come off a little bit, but that wasn't the case.
Yeah, no, and we have seen it before with Kev. Can be one of those players that can slightly unravel, but he came back really, really strong against Haruki, considering that he hadn't beaten Haruki this week as well. So yeah, and as you can see, just mismatched starts, but really positive bounce back from Kev.
Yeah, and they've been pressurised mismatch darts as well, because Tommy Lishman had hit a 180 hadn't he, before then hitting that double 11. As for Mike Gillett, look, it just couldn't have been any easier for the Welshman, could it, so far? He's just cruised through from last night and carried on tonight.
Yeah, he's, he seems to be able to find answers. I mean, the last match possibly, wasn't one of the strongest that we've seen from him, but did play very well against Tommy to get across the line, secure that place. That is what the players are here for, and now it's all about tomorrow for Mike Gillett.
And Haruki Muramatsu needed that 1 win, still needs that 1 win. You think he's going to get it?
Yeah, I do. I don't see it not coming. However, I was saying in comments before, when you've only got that 1 win and games are running out now, that pressure can build, but I just like how he's throwing. He's really, really steady, really consistent. So I think he will get it.
Yeah, we'll show you the table to show you the run-in for this group. 5 games left to play. Look, Gillett's through. Muramatsu, as we've been saying, needs that 1 victory. Could get it in the next game. But Kevin Painter, Tommy Lishman and Ryan Palmer still fighting it out. And interestingly, Ryan Palmer, as we saw from those fixtures, plays both of those players.
Yeah, so as we were saying, the fate is very much in Ryan Palmer's hand. A win over Tommy and a win over Kev, that would actually see them jump in points. So it's still very much alive. But yeah, I'm just slightly concerned with regards to Ryan, because he just hasn't been able to push on. That was quite a big opportunity he created against Mike and just wasn't able to take those doubles out.
Right, we'll just take a break from this week for a moment, because we're going to have a look at next week's players. We revealed the lineup yesterday, but for those that missed it, here they are. Neil Duff, of course, WDF World Champion. Alex Spellman over from the USA. Jared Cole. Bradley Roos coming as an ADC representative. He also won the WDF Youth World Championship on the day that Neil Duff was crowned king at Lakeside as well. So some really high caliber players.
Yeah, some week winners, and obviously got John Worsley in there, Richie Howison, who's doing some great things on the seniors as well. So that's a really, really jam-packed week. And yeah, I think I say it most weeks now. It's another really tough one to call, but I think that'll be tight.
Do you think this one will be tight? Tommy Lishman against Haruki Muramatsu?
Yeah, I think so. Tommy's playing much better than he was yesterday, and he's really, really honing in on those 180s. But it's just how much both of them kind of quite calm, kind of hold themselves together. So it's just who's going to hold it together long enough to get across the line.
Yeah, Tommy trying to take back control in that race for what seemed like the final spot, but it only will be the final spot if Haruki Muramatsu finally gets the win he's waiting for. So let's see if he can, in the company of Henry Deacon.
And thank you very much, Chris. And so here we go into the second half of the evening's endeavours we head to. And it's Muramatsu against Lishman to kick it off. Well, as far as Tommy's night is concerned, he got the better of Kevin Painter on the last leg, decided by 4-3 before then losing out to Mike Gillett. Although, to be fair, everybody's been doing that this evening. As for Haruki Muramatsu, he got his night off to the perfect start, beating Ryan Palmer to 0. Very good performance as well. A 93-94 average, but then lost out last time against Kevin Painter with a 98.44 average, and having converted both of his double opportunities. Painter just a bit more clinical when it came to the scoring stakes. So, as far as the odds compilers lay their bets in this one, they have Lishman as the 11-8 favourite. The 11-8 outsider, and Haruki Muramatsu as the 8-15 favourite. Remember,
100.
it is 18 plus, and begambleaware.org if you're going to have a flutter on the Super Series this evening.
$42. $60. $100.
Unlucky there from Leishman.
63.
And there's the dart of misery on the floor. Well, Palmer finds himself at the foot of the
97.
table. Leishman and Painter just in behind. But this is big for Leishman. The fact that this is, I suppose, the games against Haruki and Mike
94.
are kind of free hits for the bottom three, aren't they? Because it's the battles against each other that's going to pave the most significance.
Yeah, I would say there's still a lot of permutations that can happen. There are things that are more likely to happen.
45.
But every time we think we know what we're talking about, someone throws the cat among the pigeons and it completely changes once again.
You always
60.
find a spanner in the works here at the Super Series.
Yeah, and it was quite interesting actually, just coming from the balcony, just running through the players' area there, and saw Mike's. And he sat with Ryan Palmer, and both of them kind of shaking their heads still. Just and Ryan interestingly saying that it was just really nervy for
100.
him. And I think that's just a testament. You know,
Tommy
it's
O'Carr,
getting to that business end. They
124.
are running out of time. They're running out of opportunities. But for Ryan Palmer, he has got Kev and Tommy left, so a couple of wins against them, and it could change it all around again.
41.
The complexion
Haruki
can
O'Carr,
change at any kind of
117.
moment as Muamatsu looks for 117 to break the throw in this opening leg. Down for treble 19, which would have left himself a dart at top. So,
57.
Leishman,
Tommy O'Carr,
83.
83.
Well, considering that he doesn't have a proclivity for double 16, double 9.
65. Haruki O'Carr, 60.
This for a break in the opening leg. Needs tops. Needs double 10.
50. Tommy O'Carr, 18.
Yeah, a bit of emotion there from Haruki Muramatsu. Visibly not happy as he's doing that phantom throw in the background. Almost like two matches going on at once
14.
then.
Haruki O'Carr, 10.
I had to double check we weren't to the UK. Haruki's at the board now. Practice
Game
makes
shown in the first
perfect.
leg.
1-0
Haruki
Muamatsu.
Second leg, Haruki to throw first. Game on.
Leishman, very much a product of the ADC system. He actually came across as a qualifier last time out, courtesy of the Yorkshire and Humberside rankings and the
45.
ADC Vault, which is sending a lot of players here to the Super Series. James Richardson, perhaps one of the biggest examples of what the ADC has done for players. And
177.
he's going to be involved next week as Leishman kicks off this leg with a 177. If it wasn't for the ADC, we wouldn't be seeing the likes of Tommy Leishman on
85.
this stage with the greatest respect in the world.
No, and it's carved the way, it's carved those opportunities, hasn't it? And allowed them to be showcased here at the Super Series.
40.
Now, would you like a little factoid, Laura?
Do I have a choice, Henry? Is it about darts, football?
It is about the Super Series.
Okay,
100.
I'm game. Go for it.
So we just announced a lineup for next week, which is week 8 of the Super Series. And in the previous 4 series, week 8 has heralded 2 champions and a
140.
runner-up. Series 1, Conan Whitehead won week 8, won the series. in Series 3, Jacob Taylor was runner-up in Week 8, but got the best reserve qualifier for the Series 3 Champions Week.
100.
Lost in the
Tommy
final to
O'Carr,
Luke Littler,
144.
and then Luke Littler won Week 8 of the last series.
$96.
So it is a jam-packed week next week. I will give you that, and it wouldn't surprise me if a winner came from that lot. But again, tough competition. And Luke Littler's not in Week 8.
45. Tommy O'Carr, 48.
Talking about 8s, 48 for Lishman, and it is a big 8 for Tops. Now double 10.
28. Haruki O'Carr, 126.
You're looking for another one of those, which he finds. So double 6.
Game shot on the second leg.
Oh,
Haruki
masterful finishing there
Muramatsu.
from Haruki Muramatsu.
2 from 4, 2-0 he leads, and Lishman
Third leg,
just
Tommy to throw first. Game on.
disconsolately looks at the camera.
43.
In matter of fact, Neil Duff and Bradley Ruse being in the week next week, they actually played in the final of Week 4 of Series 4, and it was Neil Duff who came out the victor in that particular occasion.
140.
But I've got to be honest, I think Alex Spellman could well be the player to beat next week.
58.
Yeah, the American player. They're going through a purple patch, getting better and better from the results I've seen from him.
Recent
100.
winner of the Chicago Soft Tip Championship. That's easy to say around about midnight, isn't it?
100.
Jared Cole's been playing some good stuff as of late. Made the quarterfinals of the British Open last weekend. Lost out to this guy called Luke Littler.
45.
I've heard good reports about Christopher Tunders as well.
59.
And who can depose of the talent of Richie Howson in Group B. Two-time TV finalist in the World Seniors. In fact, sorry, three-time
60.
TV finalist, Czech, in the World Seniors in 2023.
Yeah, and not to mention the father and son duo of
96. Haruki
James and
O'Carr,
Josh Richardson.
156.
And the here and now, Muramatsu looking at 156 for a 3-0 lead. It's not going to happen on this particular occasion, and so Lishman comes back for 145 to
60.
half the arrears and to peg
Tommy
one
O'Carr,
back.
145. $80. Haruki O'Carr, 96.
hit this a couple of times tonight. Won't go this time, so a chance for Lishman to
56.
get a leg on the
Tommy
board.
O'Carr, 65.
Will he go the Mike Gillett way, 15? No.
Tops for Tommy
Being shot on the third
to
leg.
bring it
Tommy
back to
Lishman.
2-1 to peg one back. Muramatsu
Fourth leg, Haruki to
with the
third
darts
first.
for a
Game
3-1
on.
lead. I'd love to know inside the mind of Tommy Lishman.
97.
I'm not sure anyone really wants to explore the mind of any dart player at any given time, but
180. $45.
Lishman has kicked us off with a 180.
60.
Now your turn to jinx it.
Oh, yeah, okay, fair enough.
All we want to do is hear the shout of the
59.
180 by Paul Hinks, one of the iconic calls in the sport.
72.
A loose start there means Lishman isn't on a finish, but that's got the solid lead in this fourth leg.
$100.
So Lishman looking to set up here so he can break the rookie's throw.
133. $100. Tony O'Carr, 56.
For 2-2. It's 2 at tops. Now double 10.
36.
Doesn't go, and this is
Haruki
prime
Okawa,
Muamatsu
100.
territory.
Yeah, we saw him take out a 126 earlier. Can he take out the ton? Needs another one of those.
Game shot on the fourth leg. Haruki Muamatsu.
Absolutely outstanding. Clinical finishing there from Haruki Muamatsu. That has got to hurt Lishman. You can
Fifth
see
leg,
the
Tommy
right
to throw
smile there on
first.
his
Game on.
face.
Despite the sting, there is still a grin upon the face of Lishman.
42.
But he knows his hopes might be hanging by a thread, and dangerously he may tread if he loses out to Muamatsu in this particular match. The only saving grace potentially is the fact that Kevin Painter is in action against Mike Gillett next up,
140.
the all-conquering Welshman.
$96.
And as we approach the midnight hour, Lishman may not feel the power, and his hopes
85.
might be like a prayer. If
59. $100.
Yeah, Lishman in real danger here now.
140.
Good response, but 164. Haruki with a good opportunity to do something very handy. That's a good start.
just
100.
unlucky, the treble 19
Tommy
would have
O'Carr,
left tops
164.
on that particular occasion. And so Lishman is now most definitely in Hail Mary territory. But can he find the perfect saving play?
92.
Not on this
Tommy
occasion.
O'Carr, 76.
This for the match and a place in tomorrow's finals. Kuru Maramutsa needs tops.
56. Tommy O'Carr, 72.
Chance come and gone. And so Lishman is reprieve, but it may well be the last chance he gets. It's tops. He's been good here,
52.
but it's dipped
Haruki
below
O'Carr,
when he's needed
20.
it the most. And Muamatsu comes back for 10s to move himself on to 10 points. And to become the first ever Asian player to qualify for finals night.
15.
Muamatsu is
Tommy
not
O'Carr,
quite
20.
the history maker yet.
Double five now for Lishman.
10.
And he
Haruki
himself
O'Carr,
unable
5.
to finish the leg.
And so opportunity presents itself for Haruki again. Muamatsu wants double two.
1.
But it doesn't
Tommy
send him
O'Carr,
through
10.
just yet.
Real bit of double trouble in this leg. Lishman right it. Is that a marker?
Game
Yes,
shot
it
on the
is.
fifth leg. Tommy Lishman.
Tommy Lishman does hold his throw, and we are now 3-2. of defiance
Six leg,
on Tommy
Haruki to
Lishman's face
first,
as he
game
stared
on.
at the board.
Well, as we pass 12 a.m, we should say a very good morning and welcome to Saturday at the Super Series. But who is going to stay for the evening session in front of a crowd here in Portsmouth? Haruki Murematsu
85.
throwing here to be a part of the Saturday night fun underneath the roof of the live lounge. Tommy Lishman, well, he's seeing his hopes
100.
potentially up against the wall. If he loses this one, he is hoping that Mike Gillett does him a favour next up against Kevin Painter.
60.
We now know 4 players who will definitely be in finals night.
180.
Tommy Lishman doing everything in his power here to put himself in contention for one of the remaining 2 places.
It's a real defiant effort here from Tommy Lishman.
83.
He's going down swinging. But he's up for the fight. And back in the
180.
bout he is with that max. Back-to-back maxes.
$100. Tommy O'Carr, 41.
So a potential 11 dart. Needs double 19.
Has a little glance over to the scoreboards and then decides, do you know what, I'm just going to go
22.
for it anyway. Only way to go for 41.
No real damage done as yet, but could be under a world of pressure.
137.
Does he go 11
Tommy
double
O'Carr,
four here
19.
because of the fact that he does not like that southwest portion of the board, or does he stay with convention? Yes is the answer for double
Getting
8.
shot on the 6 leg. Tommy Lishman.
And he knows how important that is. Yep, straight down the barrel of the camera,
final leg,
Tommy.
Tommy to throw first. Game on.
And that's the real big kind of fist pump that we've seen from Tommy Lishman. Was a big dart, and he shouldn't be avoiding that side of the board. That was a really well taken double 8 right in the middle of the bed.
180.
That's his 4th max of the match. In fact, it is his 3rd maximum in his last 3 scoring visits.
60.
And it just looked as if Murematsu had the game in the palm of his hands. But Lishman has come back off the canvas
140.
and is now landing the haymaker jabs and was nearly trying to provide the knockout blow of a 9.
$80.
All about the setup here.
Lishman straight back in the treble.
85.
Leaves himself on 96 after just 9 darts, but plenty of time with Haruki back on 361.
Even a max doesn't leave him on a finish.
180.
Even a max
Tommy
means
O'Carr,
that
96.
Lishman has 6. Manages to find a way into the treble for double 8.
91.
However, a wild last start means that this leg is still not over yet. Thus the match by the same virtue, because this could get a bit scrappy as far as Lishman is concerned.
85. Tommy O'Carr, 5.
I agree, this is not a given. This is difficult for Lishman. Takes his time, step back. Eyeing up double 2 with Haruki back on 96.
One.
Yeah, and that
Haruki O'Carr,
lay of the
96.
first dart proved difficult for Tommy Lishman.
And this is how fine the margins can be, because he's had a couple of darts to put his destiny in his own hands. And if Murematsu could have found a treble to left himself a double, then
60.
the game could have
Tommy
completely
McLeod, 4.
changed and the group could have completely hinged in the other direction. And so Leishman is back for double 2 to put himself on 6 points and to put himself in a real promising position in this group. That lie is not the world's best,
Game
but
shot
he
of the match,
manages
Tommy Leishman.
to find the double, to find the win, and you can see the elation in his celebration as to how much it means to Tommy Leishman as he walks off stage, a relieved man, a happy man, as he gets the better of Haruki Muramatu by 4 legs to 3. That's despite 2 ton plus checkouts from Muramatu, but Leishman getting over the line. That despite 18 missed darts at a double. Leishman beats Muramatu 4-3. Coming up next, let's see how Kevin Painter can respond when he takes on Mike Gillett.
Welcome back to the MODUS Super Series, where there's 4 games left to play tonight, but I can confirm there is only one place left to play for. Mike Gillett qualified a long time ago, but Haruki Muramatsu, having got 3 legs against Tommy Lishman, Tommy can't close that leg difference. As you can see there, it's enormous, so it means Muramatsu is safe. He could actually be caught by Kevin Painter, who's got a couple of games left to play. He's still firmly in this fight and looking to pick up a couple more points when he takes on the so far unbeaten Mike Gillett now. And guiding you through the action, it's back to Laura and Henry.
Thank you very much, Chris. Kevin Painter warming up ahead of what is a crucial game for him now. Having seen Tommy Lishman move on to 6 points in the group, it is all about how he can respond. Up against Mike Gillett, who's looking to go 16 from 16. He wants a sweet 16 in this group. 8 wins from 8 to qualify him through to finals night, although his qualification was in... It felt little.
Game on.
Relative danger at the beginning of the night was confirmed following his first game of the night. And now he is trying to spoil Painter's chances of progressing through. The odds compilers had Mike Gillett as the heavy 8 to 15 favourite to 59. Win this match. Kevin Painter, the outsider, at 11 to 8. Interesting regarding the Kevin Painter equipment. Now the
34.
Change of equipment is because, as far as the barrel is concerned, that he snapped a point, and that's why he has had to change that part of his setup this evening.
Yeah, I think personally that's a bit of a shame for Kevin Painter, because he was really quite impressive in his win over Muramatsu earlier. Posted a 92 average. Probably off the back of seeing how Mike, although he did get that win over Ryan Palmer,
83.
more around the 75 average and just a bit off the pace. So hope that isn't a distraction for Kevin.
But he is doing the Laura Turner approach, because he does have an odd dart in there. He's thrown the first 2 of the new set we haven't seen so far this week, and then the third dart being the set that we saw on the previous 4 days worth of competition.
Odd sets, possibly the way forward? I don't think so. I am now throwing 3 darts the same and have done for a while.
135.
See, there's only one way to do it, Laura, isn't there?
Yeah, you've got to throw the odd one last. There's no 2 ways about it.
I still can't believe that Peter Wright hasn't had 3 different darts on the same visit.
Kevin O'Carr, 107.
There is still time. Time is definitely running out for Kevin Painter, who'll be hoping to pin tops here for the opening leg.
Game shot on the first leg,
And
Kevin Painter.
Very clinical finishing there from Kevin Painter. Gets an early breaker throw.
Second leg, Kevin to third first.
Ton plus
game on.
Finish of the night after his 116 against Haruki Muramatsu. And an early break for the artist, and now really pulling ahead on throw. 140 to start.
$100. $95.
Rather more inspired and painted tonight from what we saw last night.
121.
I mentioned a little bit earlier on in the night, I just think players like Kevin, like Robert Thornton, that is, Martin Adams, who are so adept to this particular format, can switch on in a different way on Friday than maybe any other day, knowing that it's last chance saloon.
Yeah, wealth of experience in pressurised situations on stages in major tournaments.
$92.
That was good setup play from Kev Painter. Leaves himself on tops, and nothing think really Mike could do on 159. So let's see how this goes. Double 10 here for Kevin Painter. Double 5.
Game shot on the
Yeah,
second leg.
that's a good
Kevin
last start
Painter.
because we have seen already tonight can get a bit messy.
2-0 to the good Kevin Painter,
Third
done
leg,
so in
Mike
the
to third
space of
first. Game on.
30 darts. 2:15 darters has taken himself to the halfway point and given himself a bit of a G up in the
95.
background. As you mentioned, former Players' Championship final winner. Quite the
97.
cast list of names to have won that particular competition. Phil Taylor, Michael Van Gerwen, Gary Anderson, Darryl Gurney, Peter Wright,
100.
and a certain Paul Nicholson, who beat Mervyn King 13-11 at the Circus Tavern. It was actually the last ever
46.
PDC event to have ever taken place at that famous venue. Peter Drury famously commentated on that, and his line when Paul Nicholson won it was, "The bad boy
139.
has come good, the prized asset."
$96. Mike O'Carr, 167.
To half the deficit, Gillett's got 6 darts on 167.
97.
Kevin winning his title at the Doncaster Dome, which nowadays hosts concerts for bands.
162. Mike O'Carr, 70.
Is it there? Mike looking at for a 15 darter of his own. 20 for tops.
30. Kevin O'Carr, 100.
Arguably a rare miss there for Mike on tops.
Well, this is a single, which is not. The treble leads tops. Whichever way this was going to go, he was going to go top second dart. This for 14 darter, a hat-trick of 15s.
60.
Would have been if he found it
Mike
there.
O'Carr, 40.
You may not win the leg after all.
Over for double 10.
Game shot on the
And
third
this time
leg.
does
Mike
make
Gillett.
sure and does get that leg on the board.
Fourth leg, Kevin to throw first. Game on.
However, it was only a hold of throw for Mike Gillett. That's the way Kevin Painter's got to think about it.
54. $26.
A real chance here for Kevin to put a bit of distance between him and Mike in this fourth leg.
59.
Gillett may sense opportunity in this leg.
100.
Ton there puts things just level, and so Painter back with the advantage of throw.
$100.
Minor coming up after this. Palmer against Lishman, Ruamatsu against Gillett, and Painter against Palmer. How academic will that last game of the
100.
night end up being?
We will get a better idea after this match.
45.
And Gillett may well be sensing blood against the Painter darts.
95.
The Painter coming back with a bit of a charge. Tom Forty leads in first to a
140.
finish, but Gillett against the throw can leave it much more handier.
$100. Kevin O'Carr 103.
Probably disappointed then not to have left tops after pinning the treble 20 with the first start. So Kev just pulls it into the treble 3. So looking at 94. And needs treble 18, which leaves him tops.
$83.
And just
Mike O'Carr,
underneath.
80.
And now this is the chance for Gillett to break. One dart at tops. Tops for Gillett.
40.
Just above. It would have
Kevin
been a
O'Carr,
dagger for
20.
Kevin Painter if that went.
Gillett missing by the narrowest of margins,
Green
but
shot on the
afforded
fourth leg. Kevin
Painter the
Painter.
opportunity, and he takes it with both hands.
And so Painter a leg away from what would be a huge victory. Remember, he's
Fifth
got
leg,
a
Mike, to throw
sizable gap
first.
in terms
Game
of
on.
legs difference. If he can get the job done here, well, if he can get it done in this leg, he may feel as if the job would almost feel
140.
as good as a Gooden. In
135.
Painter would be on 6 points plus 2 legs difference, but crucially, would have won
95.
23 legs in comparison to Lishman's 19. Now, the maximum Lishman will be able to get to in legs 1 is 22, and the maximum that he'd get to in terms of legs
46.
difference would be -2. So, if Painter wins this leg, the worst case scenario for him would be -2
89.
legs difference, 23 legs 1. It'd be over. I'm going to do an Al Gore and call it now.
$54.
But of course, yes, Lishman, of course, would still have the points to play for.
$97.
They're not quite sewn up yet. Would be entertaining for us and everyone at home if it did come down to that very last match that Painter faces
64.
Ryan Palmer.
Mike O'Carr 80.
Double 10.
Game
All
shot.
factors are relevant. It's in!
On the
It's
fifth
in!
leg,
It is
Mike
in!
Gillett.
It is in! It is in!
6 leg Kevin to throw first. Game on.
Mike just causing Paul Hinks to doubt himself slightly there.
$140.
So Painter with the darts to seal it 4-2. To pile the pressure upon Lishman.
59. $140.
Back-to-back 140s.
Two very strong visits on throw for Kev Painter. Hunting down that
100.
leg.
And maybe
140.
Painter is edging closer now, leaving 81 after 9. Got at least 6 here because even a max here
140. Kevin O'Carr 81.
would leave a non-out. And so Painter 81 for the match. It's double 12 to wrap it up in style.
$57.
What all Mike can do here, try and leave something on because he cannot finish from this position.
105. Kevin O'Carr 24.
So 2-12, so
Game shot of the
Painter
match,
completes
Kevin
the
Painter.
job. And so he is in a very good suit now, is Kevin Painter. A 4-2 victory against Mike Gillett puts him in a very promising position with just Ryan Palmer to come. Ryan Palmer's involved in our next match. He takes on Tommy Leishman, who can, well, do the job for Painter to a certain extent. Right, let's see what happens in this next match after this short break.
Welcome back to the MODUS Super Series. 3 games left to go, but all could be solved after this next one. Ryan Palmer about to take on Tommy Leishman before Haruki Muramatsu faces Mike Gillett, and then Kevin Painter plays Palmer in the last match, but it's all looking pretty pleasant for Painter after he inflicted that first defeat on Mike Gillett in this group. That means that the Group B table now looks like this. Mike Gillett has already topped it, and Haruki Muramatsu has already qualified. But Painter, Leishman, Palmer, all still in the picture. However, if Ryan Palmer were to lose just one leg in this game, that would be his qualification hopes over. And if Tommy Leishman loses the match, as you can see, his last match of the night, his leg difference is worse than Kevin Painter. Therefore, he would be eliminated and Painter would be through. So it's all about really Palmer trying to get a big win, a perfect win, or Leishman trying to get a victory to put the pressure back on Painter. Let's see which way it goes in the company of Laura and Henry.
Yeah, thank you very much, Chris. And so to our 8th game of the evening, and now the tension ratchets up another notch or two for both Leishman and Palmer, and Painter, who temporarily is sitting and waiting in the background. So Ryan Palmer has to be perfect. It is as simple as that. One more leg conceded, he'll be eliminated from this competition, and it'll be all about fighting for the ADC belt
First leg, Ryan to throw
tomorrow
first.
against his brother Ricky. Kick off at 5 o'clock
Game
in
on.
that one. As for Tommy Lishman, victory means that he then
41.
has to await his fate when Painter takes on Palmer. And a Lishman defeat would
100.
send him packing. Other than that, Law, it's quite easy.
Yeah,
100.
well, just saying, Kevin Painter's just put himself in probably the best position of the three, following that win over Mike Gillett.
140.
No, and it's all important
60.
game. The Victor will know they put themselves in a good position. But I just wonder what Kevin Painter's thinking in the background.
35.
Because he's been so used to these situations, so used to these scenarios, but the worst place you can be is not directly
140.
involved, which he's not in this one.
No, but he's still pretty much got majority of the fate, you know, in his own hands. He will be facing Ryan Palmer
56.
in the very
Ran your car
last match. So
160.
if Lishman does get a win here, Painter will know exactly what he needs to do.
96. Tommy O'Carr 170.
Is it going to be a big fish from Lishman? The bullseye to
Game shot on the
eliminate
first
Palmer.
leg. Tommy Lishman.
And it is the big fish from Lishman. 1-0.
Second leg, Tommy to throw first. Game on.
And the big fish sends the line departing.
96. $59.
Yeah, that was an epic finish from Tommy Lishman.
59.
And agony once again for Ryan Palmer, who was sat looking quite comfortable after his attempt for 160.
58.
Just always seems to have been one or two darts behind in most of the matches that he's played tonight, Ryan Palmer.
I'm going to ask you a really horrible question
134.
here, Laura.
Yeah, I might take the fifth, but crack on.
Out of the two Palmers, who's in the best nick to win the belt
140.
match tomorrow?
Well, yeah, from what I've seen, I think both have actually had some inconsistencies.
140.
I think Ryan potentially has got kind of that more that potential for a stronger game, but I have been impressed with some of the things I've seen from Ricky as well. So, yeah,
140. Tommy O'Carr 72.
I just find it's amazing sometimes what sibling rivalry can bring out of people.
Can he crash that in off the barrel?
48.
No is the answer.
Daniel Carr 104.
Palmer now, the line just playing for pride.
92.
But it's so hard when that adrenaline courses away from the
88, sorry. Tommy O'Carr 24.
body of Palmer as Lishman comes back for double 12 to double his lead.
$18. Daniel Carr 16.
Double eight here for Ryan Palmer. Double four.
8. Tommy O'Carr 6.
And so down to the bottom double on the board.
I think going straight for it. Is he going to split? Goes for it.
Getting shot on the second
Yeah,
leg.
good
Tommy
choice there.
Lishman.
And Tommy Lishman does double his lead 2-0 over Ryan Palmer.
Third leg, Ryan to throw first. Game on. $100. $91.
Just a reminder that
44.
Andreas Harrison is waiting in the final, as is Alex Small and Shane McGurk, having made their way through Group C earlier on this afternoon. And even if it's not for tomorrow
140.
night, but you fancy a Saturday night at the Super Series, every week available until around about the end of November. So some autumnal darts may be on the
137.
menu for you in Portsmouth. Scan that QR code. As I say, we're in Portsmouth on the south coast of Hampshire. Historical city.
140.
Venue in the middle of the city. Little less than a mile
50.
away from Fratton Park.
Tommy O'Carr, 130.
Now we've seen Tommy hit the big fish. Can he find treble 20 and go for the little fish?
Big fish. And it wasn't quite little fish, cardboard box.
170.
And I think Ryan would have
40.
liked to have
Tommy O'Carr,
hit
25.
his own 170 there in kind, but now it's all for Tommy. 25. 1 for double 12.
Game shot on the third leg. Tommy
Yeah,
Leishman.
nicely taken there for Tommy Leishman. 3-0 up over Ryan Palmer.
And it's now beginning to look
Fourth
like
leg,
a little
Tommy
bit of
to
a
first. Game
serene
on.
swim along the tungsten tide for Tommy Leishman. As for the line, well, he found himself in choppy waters, but he's now found himself drowned out the race as Leishman comes paddling towards the line. Swimming with the tungsten sharks, and he's
41.
very much holding his own.
Yeah, Leishman looking to sign off his Group B campaign with possibly the best performance he's had so far.
134.
Averaging just a fraction over 99 at the moment.
87.
And so Leishman with the luxury of time to complete the job by 4 legs to 0.
59.
And a couple more games to go. Muramatsu against Gillett. Painter v Palmer. And all will become apparent
40.
then. But this is the thing.
Tommy O'Carr,
Leishman's going to
128.
beat Palmer. But now Leishman, if he gets the job, needs Palmer to beat Painter. Such is the craziness of the Super Series.
88.
And Tommy Leishman once again just finding a way to avoid double 16, leave
97.
himself on
Tommy O'Carr,
tops.
40.
It's time for the match.
Tops after 12 to cap off what has been a big performance at a big time for Tommy
Game shot on the match,
Leishman.
Tommy
The
Leishman.
4-0 victory against Ryan Palmer puts himself right in the mix. 8 points from his campaign, and now he has to sit and await his fate. And he's got to hope that Ryan Palmer can reverse these particular fortunes against Kevin Painter next time out. But in the middle of that, we're going to see the final games of the campaign for the top two, Haruki Muramatsu and Mike Gillett.
2 games left then here at the MODUS Super Series. Your late night darts action is coming to a close and it is going to have a thrilling conclusion. The last match will decide who joins this pair at finals night from this group. Mike Gillett seems to have been through since about Tuesday and the group only started on Thursday, and he is joined by Haruki Muramatsu, who has finished in 2nd place in the group, the first Asian player to have made it to a Super Series finals night. Good honour for him tomorrow. Gillett will be with him. Let's see who wins the pair's final match in what's been a very successful Group B. Back to Henry and Laura.
Yeah, thank you very much, Chris. As you say, the penultimate match of the night between the top 2 on the table. And an opportunity for these two to perhaps just lay down the gauntlet. You know, it's their last match of the evening.
First leg of Ruby
Finish on a high.
first.
And Mike did lose his first game earlier tonight against Kevin Painter. We will want to finish on a win, but so will this man here.
Well, there is still the outside possibility that these two may play their next 2 matches
99.
against each other, because if Mike Gillett wins quite comprehensively and docks down the Muramatsu legs difference and Painter wins by a surmountable margin in the next match, it would mean that they'd play each other in the first game of Saturday night as the 1st and 3rd place players in Group B. And so actually this could be a fairly significant battle in terms of how they portray their Saturday night destinies.
Don't worry, it's getting late, isn't it?
137.
This is what happens when you have 2 words and they amalgamate into 1.
76. $57.
Yeah, Muramatsu there just trying to chase down a 170
81.
leave. We'll say though, I don't know what you think, but especially over the last couple of days, Muramatsu probably has been
100.
the most consistent player. Peaked over a ton average. The results have gone Mike's way, but just I think Mike, since qualifying,
54.
possibly just has dipped off, as you said before.
Rudy
Probably
O'Connor,
hasn't been used to
108.
coming into these campaigns and absolutely railroading everything.
This has been so typical of Muramatsu's week. Finishes
92.
like that, just inside on the double 16. But you look at his week, and he hasn't had a bad game. What's probably
140.
been his undoing at
Rudy
times has
O'Connor,
been missed
16.
doubles.
No score. Mike
Oh,
O'Connor,
you called
50.
it just a moment ago, didn't you? Missed double there from Muramatsu, and gives Mike the opportunity for a break of throw. 10 for tops. Seen this so often from Mike
Game
Gillett.
shot on the first leg. Mike
Seen it
Gillett.
again.
Sam Fender leg,
Second leg, Mike
17
to throw
going under
first,
for
game
Mike
on.
Gillett.
$41.
I'll tell you what I'd love to see at some point for the Super Series.
100.
Love to see a Group A with as many different continents as possible. I'm going to put the UK and Ireland and mainland Europe as 2 different entities for this one example.
19.
So UK, Europe, North America, Asia, Australia, and then possibly a player from either the Central American, South American or African regions.
100.
Yeah, be interesting. Becoming more and more global. Because there we've got Muramatsu here being the first Asian player to qualify through to finals night.
180.
Adds to the list of nations that have
100.
played at the Super Series, and there is a real hefty number of them.
100.
Mike is the first one down to a finish, but Muramatsu here.
105.
Just leaves himself. Good
Michael
switch for
Carr,
the 25. Leaves himself on a
161.
2-dot checkout on 96.
'90. Haruki Okar, 96.
So 96 for Muramatsu, double 18 for Muramatsu.
Game shot on the second
To
leg.
level this game up
Haruki
at one apiece.
Muramatsu.
Superb 96 finish to square the affair up.
Third leg, Haruki to third first. Game on.
I think for Haruki, the combination finishing has been very, very strong throughout the week. I think sometimes it's when he's actually got a clear shot at a double.
100.
It's where that seems to kind of just afford opportunities for the players. Just those misses do come.
And that's going to be the big difference come tomorrow night, isn't it, ultimately?
95.
Difference between a successful night and possibly a slightly earlier exit. And what a story it would be for the Super Series if Haruki could go on and win the final
100.
tomorrow night.
'96.
Been in excess of 25 nations that have played at the Super Series.
58.
The new territories continuing to develop at a rate of knots over time.
28.
Bit of a lax visit there from Mike. And just allowing Haruki to plough forward, leave himself finish. Does need a treble.
100.
And does find a treble.
'45. Haruki Okar, 143.
So 143 for Haruki Muramatsu. He's going to come back. He's
60.
going to have the luxury of time. Gillett can only try and fill it.
'43. Haruki Okar, 83.
So double 16.
Game shot on the third leg.
Again,
Haruki
those-
Muramatsu.
Clutch finishing, those 2-dart checkouts. Really, really strong for Haruki. 96 followed
Fourth
by
leg, Mike to third
83.
first. Game
2
on.
legs to 1 up.
So good at the pop finishes.
121. '28. 93.
Yeah, good switch there on the last for Mike.
$180.
Maximum for Muramatsu. And whilst we're on the subject of international darts, it is a big couple of weeks
60.
coming up in the world of international darts. It's the WDF World Cup. I believe it's in Denmark, isn't it, this year?
It is indeed. People from across the world all heading to
100.
Denmark this weekend.
I believe so, yeah. Edsberg, isn't it, where they hold the Denmark Open, the ice hockey
97.
arena?
Yes, yeah. Do enjoy the Denmark Open. Been a few times myself.
Yeah, I've spoken to Charlie Corsafine about that competition, and he's spoken very highly of it.
139. Mike Ricard, 130.
Yeah, really, really accommodating organisation, the Denmark Darts Union.
$36. Haruki Okar, 54.
It's all unravelling slightly at this tail end of the evening for Mike, but Haruki just remaining focused.
Game shot on the fourth leg. Haruki Munematsu.
Again, using the guy beautifully just to crash it off the barrel and in, and Munematsu gets the break.
Fifth leg, Haruki to third
lead.
first. Game on.
By 3 legs to 1. Well, it hasn't quite been magic Mike tonight, but it's been enough to do
60.
the 2 objectives that he needed to get through and win the group.
$57.
Maybe he'll save the flashes of brilliance to tomorrow night.
Well, we all know the finals night, completely different dynamic to the group stages. Yes, there is an initial round robin, but it's very much more cutthroat. And then it's just a straight knockout to see who wins. Who picks up that check
140.
and secures a place in Champions Week.
That's the easy bit of the knockout stuff. It's the bits before that's difficult to get there.
24.
Some more phantom darts in the background by Haruki Munematsu. And it's actually something that when you watch a lot of younger players, it's become
60.
very evident in their play. Cam Crabtree, for example, Owen Bates, both very much a phantom thrower.
140. $145.
Yeah, good setup play once again. Munematsu just
134.
already taken
Haruki
out this
Okar,
96. And he do it again for the match.
Can he nudge the treble just above? Yes is the answer for double 8.
80.
And that would have been to win
Mike
it in
Ricard,
style. This is to
146.
save it in style for Mike Gillett if he can find the 146. Yes. Just the other side. 68 left. The treble
94.
16 there would have left in double
Haruki
10.
Okar, 16.
Munematsu, double 8 for the match.
Game shot on the match.
And the
Haruki
match
Munematsu.
won by Munematsu by 4 legs to 1. He gets the better of Mike Gillett. Realistically, for the Welshman, his job was done quite early on by the end of game 1. But for Munematsu, he moves himself on 10 points and he guarantees himself second spot in the table. And so these two won't meet now until the knockout stages in tomorrow night's affairs. Munematsu with a 93.34 average. Some really good performances on the night from the Japanese star, has become the first ever Asian player to qualify for finals night here at the Super Series. As for Mike Gillett, he'll come back tomorrow night looking for a second weekly title coming up after the break. It's all about who's going to join this pair in tomorrow night. A win for Kevin Painter and he's in. If Ryan Palmer can pick up the points, it's Tommy Lishman who goes through.
Here we go then, the decisive match of Group B, the one that will determine the final spot at finals night tomorrow. And it could be Kevin Painter, the artist, is the man with his destiny in his own hands. Ryan Palmer won't be there. He's already been eliminated. So it's that age-old Super Series scenario where it's a match between two players, but only one of them's on the stage. Tommy Lishman will have to watch it in the practice room. Kevin Painter looking to get the win. That will get him in. Over to Laura and Henry.
Thank you, Chris. And so it all comes down to this. These two threw the first darts in anger in Group B. They now throw
Game on.
the last darts in this group. Well, Painter has it in his own hands, quite literally. And he's looking to take full advantage of that.
140.
As for Palmer, well, he's basically tag teaming with Tommy Lishman. He is
100.
out to bat for the man from Hull. But I don't know about you, Lord, but I think this type of situation just plays into the hands of Kevin Painter, straight knockout darts.
Yeah, you can just see there's a real grimace, there's a real determination on Kevin Painter's
39.
face. Wouldn't want to be the dartboard at the moment. Throwing with some force, Kevin Painter, and very effectively as he hones in on the first 180 of the match.
So there we go. Painter with the max in the opening leg, leaving himself 86 after 9.
95. Kevin Lucar, 86.
I have to say, it's been quite serene progression in this opening leg. It's double 16. Look at the snarl. This is what it means to Painter.
54.
But he knows he's got the luxury of time with Palmer placed all the way back on 267.
140. Kevin Lucar, 32.
Well, that 140 does put Ryan Palmer on a finish, but Painter staring down 32.
It might well be a nice guy just
Game
to
shot on the
slip
first
one
leg.
across,
Kevin
and that's
Painter.
exactly what Kevin Painter does. Well, that's one of the 4 that he needs.
Second leg round to third first. Game on. $42.
If you're Tommy Lishman right now, are you watching? Are you pacing up and down the corridor?
100.
I think me personally, I'd
Check
probably be
85.
watching. Not change any outcome now. Tommy's run his race and just has to see what the outcome of this match is.
81.
We need to find a Big Brother style diary room for these players to go into during these matches.
180.
If there was a diary room right now, Tommy Lishman will probably be up and down, pacing like a Persian cat.
98.
Painter is purring right now, averaging 114.9.
35. $119.
Yeah, good switch. Leaves himself on 161, but Painter here will be looking for something lower, something handier.
105. Round your car, 161.
Well, you sense that these are the opportunities they're going to have to go for Ryan Palmer.
97.
Because Painter's
Kevin
back
Lucar,
for 96.
96.
And the way he's been playing so far, you'd actually fancy him for the job.
Yeah, I'd agree. Part 1 done. And Palmer rather defiantly stood there behind Kevin Painter.
Game shot on the second leg. Kevin Painter.
And that was part 2 done for Kevin Painter. And he's 2-0 up.
Third leg, Kevin to throw first. Game on.
I mean, it is a big part of Kevin Painter's game. He does tend to do that step back. But if you do stand behind him, you do kind of run the risk of being knocked off the stage, I think.
46.
I still don't think there's an exclusion zone big enough for Richie Burnett.
No. Some wonderful poses from Richie Burnett over the years.
140.
It's a bit like Torvill and Dean. But Painter here is racing away with this match. He's saving his
100.
best performance of the week, it feels, for the most important game of his week, averaging 101.29 after a couple of legs. Ryan himself, though, averaging 95.1. He's playing some good stuff, but it's just been outplayed by the Painter juggernaut.
Yeah, and it's like we've said before, Ryan Palmer, he's done good things, but just has
81.
always been that one or two darts behind.
$42.
And so Painter, with a leg in his control now. Third max. 140 will do him enough.
$78. Kevin O'Carr, 134.
For 3-0, and he's got 6 from here.
Yeah, gonna need him as he
68.
bluffs his line slightly. Covers with that last dart.
Well, Palmer looking to apply pressure, he will.
150. Kevin O'Carr,
And
66.
suddenly now, Kevin Painter will need to get his kicks on Route 66.
Back up for double 18.
Game shot on the third leg. Kevin Painter.
And this is some great finishing from Kevin Painter, and he is running away with this match.
Wasn't quite a
Four-point
ka-chow,
round to
but the
third first,
66
game on.
was good enough for Painter, and you saw the celebration. And so
66.
the artist is a leg away from sending himself into tomorrow night's final in the opportunity to pick up his first weekly title here in Portsmouth.
131.
Runner-up to Matt
60.
Clark in week 10 of Series 2. His previous
100.
finals night appearances. Quite
140.
yielded success. His other final appearance actually came in a week that Mike Gillett won. That was in week 11 of Series 3. Lost in the preliminary round of that.
92.
Back into the finals after missing out in Series 4.
90.
He is 178 points away from doing that. All about the setup and then the hope that Palmer cannot take out the 145.
138.
Perfect
Ryan
setup
O'Carr,
from Painter.
145.
Picture perfect from Painter. And now he's got to hope Palmer can't take out the 145, which he can't.
55. Kevin O'Carr, 40.
And so, tops for the artist
Game shot on the
to
match.
put
Kevin
himself
Painter.
into tomorrow night's final. And Kevin Painter's march towards a first weekly title here at the Live Lounge in Portsmouth is still on. A 4-0 victory against Ryan Palmer puts him back into finals night. 101.9 average, saving his biggest performance for the most crucial of times. 2 maximums in there, 4 out of 7 when it came to the doubling, including that 96 finish. For Ryan Palmer, his week ends in defeat at the Super Series. We'll see him in the belt match tomorrow. But the final game of the session sees Painter through after beating Ryan Palmer by 4 legs to 0.
Yeah, he knew what he had to do, and boy, he did it emphatically, didn't he, Kevin Painter?
Yeah, that was an impressive win. You know, he had to win that match, otherwise it would have been a completely different outcome. So yeah, 100 ton plus average, first one from Kev that we've seen, and what a time to get it.
Yeah, he just looked like a man on a mission, just knocked Ryan Palmer off the stage, almost literally at one point as well.
Yeah, I did see that, yes.
Yeah, Kevin Painter just commands that stage, doesn't he? And he's going to get the chance to do it at finals night tomorrow. We'll take a look at the results from tonight, the 10 matches that have been played. And it didn't start promisingly for Kevin Painter. 4-3 defeat to Tommy Lishman. He looked like he had a mountain to climb then.
Yeah, he did. And I think I've just been really impressed with how he's turned it around, because, you know, he just got better and better as the night went on, Kevin Painter, and just played himself into it. You know, you do want to have control over your own destiny, and, you know, Kevin has had that.
Yeah, well, Kevin Painter is the man of the moment. He's taken that last spot at finals night, and we're going to hear from him now. He's downstairs talking to Henry.
Kev, many congratulations. Saved your best performance for last.
Well, I needed a win, Henry, so, you know, it's no good going up there and having a struggle. It's been difficult for me this week. I haven't played particularly brilliant. I've thrown so many games away, losing 4-3 and things like that, and making things really difficult for myself. But came good right at the end there when I needed to.
What were you thinking as the night developed? Because that was very tight, that race for third.
Yeah, you know, I thought after I'd beaten Mike, I thought I'd done enough there, and then of course things got tight, and come to the end game, you know, fortunately I had one more game left, and I knew that, you know, if I won that, obviously I was going to get through. So, no, I'm pleased to get through. Obviously, I'd like to have played a bit better. I've sort of, as I said to you, I've sort of lost too many games, 4-3, or, you know, 3-1 up, and things get messy. The consistency, you know, just wasn't there all week, but managed to, you know, get myself through.
But into tomorrow night now, a little bit more of a knockout style, maybe favours you a little bit more. And, of course, for yourself, the opportunity to win a first title under this roof in Portsmouth.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we'll see how that goes, Henry. But, no, it's nice to get through. Like you say, knockout style might be a bit better for me, you know, a bit more cutthroat and that, you know. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to tomorrow night, yeah.
Many congratulations to you tomorrow. Well done, Kev.
Thanks, Henry. Thank you, mate.
Very honest appraisal there from Kevin Painter. Happy to get through, not really happy with how he played until that last match.
Yeah, and to be fair, you know, out of the games that he's won tonight, he did lose to Tommy early on, which, you know, made it very difficult for him, but did get wins over the top two in Mike and Haruki. So, you know, he's his own worst critic, and I can understand, especially from yesterday, he would have been disappointed, but should be really pleased with how he's got through today.
Yeah, knockout darts for Kevin Painter tomorrow then. And Mike Gillett, well, he's known that he was going to be there for some time. He got it done really early tonight, didn't he? Very good start to his evening, just making sure he had no drama.
Yeah, and he didn't, and you know, the whole idea of coming here is just to get the job done. And for Mike, I think it was a completely different, you know, experience for him. He said it himself yesterday that he's probably struggled to get through to finals night, and he's been really dominant, played really, really well. May have tailed off slightly to the end, but sometimes that's to be expected, because you may lose that bit of adrenaline when you know that you've done what you've come to achieve.
Yeah, and Haruki Muramatsu through the first Asian player to make it through to finals night, so a bit of a landmark moment here at the Live Lounge.
Yeah, and it's great, and we're seeing more and more people from different countries coming over, playing really well, so it was great to see someone from Asia coming through, and, you know, the way he's playing, I just think he's got that wonderful consistency and a real level head. It wouldn't surprise me if he comes along and really does have a big push for the trophy himself.
Yep, so it is those two and Kevin Painter. Tommy Lishman, a bit like last time he played here, didn't quite make it, but he had his moments, didn't he?
He did, and again, I think like Kevin really did struggle yesterday, did everything he possibly could, and here you'll see that 170 checkout that he took against Ryan Palmer, and I just have to feel for him, because as I was kind of coming up to the stage, he was sat downstairs watching the game between Kev and Ryan, and obviously hoping for a different outcome, but yeah, just not quite enough from Tommy tonight.
And that was brutal for Palmer. That was actually the leg that knocked him out.
Yes, yeah, of course. So, yeah, it is quite brutal at these stages. You know, it's the round robins. You've only got a couple of days, and there's not a lot of matches, and time runs out. And unfortunately for Ryan and Tommy, just ran out of road.
Yeah, they did. Well, let's get final confirmation of that Group B table then. Mike Gillett, winning it. Haruki Murematsu on 10 points. Kevin Painter pipping Tommy Lishman at the post, and Ryan Palmer cut adrift really in the end. The bookies kind of got it right, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. They called it perfectly. So, well done to them.
Yeah, and we're back tomorrow, of course, for finals night. The groups for the Saturday session are going to look like this. So Andreas Harrison, the Group A winner, Shane McGurk and Haruki Murematsu in one group, Alex Small, Mike Gillett and Kevin Painter in the other. Does one look stronger than the other to you?
Oh, I don't know. They both look quite different, don't they? I mean, Harrison's had a couple of days off. Will he come back refreshed? Because he was very impressive in Group A. But yeah, I think they've all really put good accounts in and all finished very strongly in their campaigns in their groups. So no, I think they're equally quite difficult to get out of.
And you know that I'm not going to let you leave without asking you for a prediction, a name. Who's going to be lifting that trophy on the stage behind us tomorrow?
The thing is, if I don't say Mike, I might get in trouble. I mean, I honestly can see a lot of them. As I say, I've been really, really impressed with Haruki. I think Mike's played himself into a very strong position as well. So I will go with Mike. Maybe a little bit biased, but I know my mum and my sister are watching, so I might get told off if I don't say it. But yeah, even Kevin, if he can carry on that performance, it's gonna be a hard one to beat.
Okay, Gillett for glory, says his sister-in-law herself. We will be back tomorrow for finals night to see who does win Week 7 here at the Super Series. The action gets underway from 7:30 p.m. live on the MODUS Super Series YouTube channel. Then the semis and final will be live on Sporty Stuff TV from 10. So we hope you can join us. See you then.